beautiful, 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 yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Gila ini yang waktu kemarin ya, kemarin pagi kalau nggak salah. Ini kemarin pagi, ini turun langsung ditembak duar. Nah kan, harusnya ada yang balesin ya kan, dibalas nah kan, dibalas saja. Yang kemarin pagi ya, dar, dibalas lagi, dar. Oke, nice. Gila. Yang menang EG kemarin pagi seingatku aja. Oke, ini ada tim mana ini? Sekarang mana ya? Ini last day group stage week 4 day 3. Ini killnya 6. EG 66 kill anjir. Ini Slayer anjir. Ini 50M gelo aset genering. Banyak juga ya 50M cok. 50 juta berarti. Jadi main ini nggak pernah ini cok apa? Tidak pernah merungkat. Tidak pernah merungkat. Harusnya tidak pernah merungkat ya. Delo AG Articuno. Apa cok ini cok? Damager 16.000 damage coy. Tuh nyerang siapa aja anjir. Tapi 50 kill sih ya pantas ya sih. Ini belum asis ya. Asisnya harusnya banyak juga sih. Kalau ini juga AG Articuno kan. Kemungkinan banyak juga. AG Loco. Yang pertama tim AG kan. Menang semua anjir 149 kill anjir AG doang. Tadi 60. Hampir imbang berarti cok, hampir sepertiga berarti 30 anjir gelo. Killnya per orang imbang. Ya. Gelo. Ini berarti yang nggak mungkin nggak lolos berarti ada tim yang nggak lolos berarti kemungkinan ada tim PTH LSZ Season 1 Group Stage aja. A B B B C C C. Oke, tim AG kedua SSG. Emang ada GG-nya itu GG ya? Belakangnya ada G GG. EMEA EMEA. Gas. Excellent. Gila. You're great. Nox top 3 season. Nox, ada Nox-nya. Season 1 shoot, extract. Loot, shoot, extract. Oh, yeah. Mandel break ada di round 2 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 1, 3 kemungkinan ini apa airdrop. Yang dapat 2 Mandel break menang. Oke. Save box 3x3, 12 slot card holder. Fixed supply ultimate save ini apa ya? Oh, 800.000 per eliminasi orang consecutive extractive failure.
Go get your 800K per kill. That's a team wipe for 2.4 million votes. It's a ton. You get some extra cash for decoding Mandel bricks. Also, copying Mandel bricks gives you some cash as well. I saw somebody asking about that in the chat. And there's also a fixed supply of 700K just to make sure you don't go totally broke if things are going totally wrong. If you do end up extracting multiple times or not extracting multiple times, you get a little extra cash as well. Now, Mandel bricks are the most important piece, so we have the most rules around them. There's a lot going on here. The simplest way to put this is a Mandel brick spawns on the map. If it is taken away from its spawn, it has 5 minutes to go to a decoding station, no matter how many times it exchanges hands or gets thrown onto the ground. You got 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, it goes back to spawn. But if it goes into the decoding station,
Mandel brick become available shortly after the match start. Okay, Mandel brick has been taken 5 menit to place decode. Okay. Jadi ada Mandel brick itu setelah diambil ada 5 menit untuk ke decode station, kalau enggak akan reset. Pertama kali Mandel brick di decoding station itu ada 4 menit waktu untuk decode-nya. Mandel brick decoding intercept time is 2.5. Gak dengar. Oh, waktu untuk recording 2,5 detik. Berarti kalau udah 1 berarti nggak bisa harus itu. First playlist 8 PTS. One playlist. Okay.
Sometimes bubbles is good as well, right? Can have a little bit of fun with that out in the park. Yeah, not really another first thing, but you know what? It is what it is. So you want to try and bring as much aggression as you can into today, especially seeing that it's the final day of group stage, expecting the teams really to try and hammer that one in. And of course, the best way to make sure that you end in the place where you want to be to get the points for the overall standings is by raking in those squad points. If you cannot get
kill plus supply point, maksudnya apa? Oh, jadi kalau misal punya asetnya 10M berarti dapat poinnya plus 5 poin. Kill point each confirm kill earn 1 point. Oke. So close. Dynamic kill bonus. Dynamic kill bonus apa ya? Dynamic kill bonus.
Yes, sir. We're gonna see that MVP also walking away with 3K as well as our dynamic kill bonus that these teams have just been driving in. I mean, one particular squad is sitting with nearly 150 kills on the board.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And if a single player like Loco has 60 kills, that's 3 grand that he has taken.
Berarti ini yang mesti lolos sih harusnya yang AG ya. Yang AG mesti lolos sih. Walaupun kalau sekarang main nggak ini ya. Oh, survivor match the finalist. Wow, keren aja. Jadi minggu depan the finalis. Or maybe you find yourself in first or second and go straight to the finals on Championship Sunday. Let's talk about the teams today, though, in the groups that are competing. This is a team that desperately needs to step up. Liquids, they've got a lot of character, they've got a lot of pizzazz, and they've got a lot of shining heroic moments, but not a lot of points. Things have not gone their way in terms of getting Mandel bricks, and they've got some star power. It's just a matter of time for this team to play the objective and finally secure some mana bricks. They have not secured a single mana brick in the course of this competition. They find themselves in 11th. Opposite story here though, DK. Nightmare team to watch. To potentially play ini cok. Game time 2000 hour. Favorit weekendnya M7. CI, oke CI.
It's going to be Space Station Gaming that has been hitting us with some few astronomical performances. Even looking at the hours coming through here from Killzone, absolutely insane. ensure that they stay in second.
This is a star-studded group, and it's a group that has had a mixed amount of success. SSG started really hot and has slowed way down. Nightmare started slow and has really ramped up. And so Nightmare being in a position to be able to potentially knock out Space Station Gaming from the top two right now is really wild to say. Nightmare's currently sitting
PTH
at
Esport.
28,
Oh, ini yang main
Space
PTH
Station Gaming at
Esport.
33. But let's talk
CI.
about ETH, another team that desperately needs to step
M7
up.
M7
Currently
CI
last on our group stage.
Aspal.
They've had moments of
Biasanya
greatness.
3
They've had some
K4
great team
37.
fights.
Oke, 4
Have
K
over
37.
look how many kills they have.
Gak pernah lihat di
They've
Indo
got
aja.
40 kills. They've got solid squad
Di
points.
Indo masih
Everything.
Aspal ini,
They
Aspal
go to the
Aspal
map.
M7
They
ini.
only have 2 points, and for them to potentially not get relegated and not make it to next week, they need to basically win. It needs a lot of points to make sure they jump over Liquids in MW. Let's swing over to Team Liquid though, which is the exact opposite. Again, this is a team that has a ridiculous amount of kills, well over almost near 90 kills between a very experienced, even former retired and come out of retirement, pros in other titles. They found their way to Delta Force, and they've really been hitting their stride. And they're at a solid 7th place right now, but they're at 25 points. And there's a couple other teams at 25 points. So the mid pack of our group stages is very,
Ya
very
ada Riken
We do turn
M7
our
dan
team
M7
names out, though, and
pasti
they're in a
M7.
very interesting place on
Aspal
our
lah,
group stage
Aspal.
as well.
Biasanya
They're
player
rated
Indo
9th
pakai
place.
Aspal.
I
Tahu
mean,
kenapa?
I think if there's one team that doesn't have to worry about anything today, it's probably Nature, right? Because
I don't know, I
It's
don't know.
not the craziest place to be, but it does mean that there is still an opportunity to fight a little bit, see if they can get straight into that first day of survival stage. If not, they're going to be straight into the second day of survival stage. So either which way, there is a way forward here for them. But of course, as we know, we are going to be correcting through our maps and operators. We are going to be starting it off with a lovely bit of that zero dam interaction. And this is where the teams now really get to utilize everything available to them, right? We are going to be seeing a little bit of a balanced approach here, right? We have a bit of assault, we have a bit of the engineers, and of course the recon being utilized as well. D-Wolf Raptor, strong when it comes to the
Oh,
battle
ini
zero dam.
di Zero Dam
The classic operator
paling
combo,
banyak
very
D-Wolf,
good.
Raptor,
Third kind of
Toxic,
up to your
Toxic,
imagination. Whatever you
Toxic
wanna play,
ingin
whatever
nggak
you
sih?
don't wanna play later,
Toxic.
whatever you want to use in the first map,
Toxic.
whatever your playstyle is going to be in the first map, that's the key to success here. Sometimes you even see double D-Wolf because teams really do want to get aggressive and go for those kills. Now, while we're talking about operator comps and while we're talking about Zero Dam and looking at the players, I actually want to circle back around to the story of the group stages because this is the last chance we get to talk about this. And this point system is so unique. I got to remind everybody when we took a look at that leaderboard, Team Nadeshot is actually at a very interesting position because of what DK said. They potentially may not be able to play on Friday next week if they find themselves in either 9th or 10th. They're currently in 9th. Here's the weird part about our leaderboard right now.
Kiljal SSG. Wah.
MW is currently
Brave
making
ini
it to
cok.
next week.
Jangan sebut
In
nama,
10th
jangan
place,
sebut nama.
which means they
Nggak
play
boleh sebut
Saturday
nama.
and get one chance to still try to make it to the finals. But MW's at 6 points. Team Nadeshot in 9th has 18 points. They won their first day of competition way back at the very beginning of the group stages to get 10 points with a double brick. 18 points puts them well within striking distance here. If they win today, for instance,
Berarti tim
they go to
Indo
28
ada
points. It could jump
6
all the way up to 4th or 5th depending on what Nightmare does today. So
6
there's this very close gap of points in the mid pack of our group
7
stages.
poin.
There's actually a pretty big burden of responsibility on Team Nadeshot to go out, ball out, earn some points to try to catch the teams in front of them. Here's the problem. The team in 8th, Fluxo, has 24 points. So you need Team Nadeshot, who's repping some nice fresh jerseys today. They need to pick up at minimum, if they win tiebreakers, which what I'm looking at they don't, at minimum 6 points, likely 7 points to take down Fluxo if they want to play Friday. How do you get 7 points? You get second and you get a Mandel brick. For Team Nadeshot to move the bar forward, you've got to get a Mandel brick today. I know there's a lot of words to just describe.
Oke,
the
Zero
stakes
Dam
are
dimulai,
high.
Zero Dam dimulai.
Ladies and gentlemen, because the stakes are high and we're going to have a ton of fun today, we have to reward you just for being here. Yet again, you all know the drill. You got to type in this code as fast as humanly possible to get the Nico Mimi spray. Get it right now on screen. Type it in as fast as you can. 35 redemptions, redeem in-game or at the official website. If you missed this one, we've got another one coming up very soon as well. But you got to type it in faster than the other people watching the stream, okay? So it's a little bit of a race. 35 redemptions on this one, only 25 on the next one. So be ready. Get your typing fingers ready. All right, DK, let's get into Zero Dam. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
First match of
Team Liquid.
opportunity for flow states to be hit. Somebody's gonna get it, and the other one is gonna have some bubbles going their way already. Liquid's having decent run at a bit of loot there, getting their hands on a little bit of something. Nightmare also going about it. And looking at the positions here, things are looking quite interesting, right? I mean, a decent spread across the board. We got the two
Di
teams
situ.
there already pushing up in towards admin. Space Station holding their position.
Oke, ada yang dari
We do see Nate shot all the way over in towards visitors, and of course
mana
Nightmare
ya?
up into cement. Now with this being our
Oh, ada yang masuk di
round of
admin,
the day,
admin,
it is gonna be giving
administrator.
opportunity to try and
Tim
get
LSZ
some of that loot
masuk
going,
admin,
right? Get as
admin.
much loot as possible to help strengthen their role throughout the remainder of the day.
Tim BTH ada di barak, tim NTMR ada di semen, SSG ada di major, tim TN ada di visitor center. Oh, tim Liquid dan tim LSZ di admin. Dua tim di
Engagement that is essentially isolated. You're not going to see a third party immediately in this engagement, but if you take way too long in that fight, up in admin, team could move your direction, whether it's Space Station Gaming now on your screen, down in Substation, or maybe it's ETH up in
Oke,
Barracks.
semua armor warna ungu,
Gear and all that good stuff. As you all well know, you can only bring
pelurunya warna biru semua. Berarti level 3, peluru level 3, armor level 4.
DK, any big surprises for you? We see the
Nggak tahu,
classic
ada.
Raptor double
Ini
default from
kebanyakan
Liquid, so
pakai
I
Raptor ya.
expect Liquid's up in admin to play aggressive.
Oh,
But anything else catching your eye?
ini mana nih?
Well, we do see a few Flinders out on the field.
Mana sih nih?
We do have
Eh,
Nightmare
semen kah?
fighting with the bots in the background. That's always
Oh,
exciting.
semen.
Outside of that, we do have Virons coming in. We do see
Ini
a
di
little bit of Nox being
semen
utilized. So,
planter.
a very wide
Oke,
spread
tim
of
TN mulai
choices
masuk
coming
ke arah.
from the
Ini
operators.
mau ke arah admin atau ke arah semen ya?
Yeah, Space Station Gaming running Nox is interesting. Same with Nightmare running Nox as well. Now, to increase the stakes a little bit, as you do see Team Nadeshot has left Visitor Center pretty actually quickly, all things considered. Last couple times we've seen teams spawn in Visitor Center, they've actually looted up for a very long time, found actually solid gear. So Team Nadeshot electing to kind of get a little bit more active here, which I can respect. Best way to get loot.
Tim BTH. Oke, tim BTH masih di arah
Go eliminate your opponents.
barak.
It's much faster than searching around for a
Nomor
company key
info
card.
kah? Oh, cari info ya TMR.
0%
Ketahuan kah itu yang di barak?
Not 0%.
Sama tim
Seen it in the
MTMR.
Northwest Raz series before, 5%.
Ketahuan sih, harusnya tahu sih itu.
But all that in
Oke.
mind, go for the kills, get aggressive. Best way to get your economy
Oke,
up
tim
before you
BTH.
lose this competition, and you don't lose an
BTH di
exorbitant amount of value
barak.
in the gear that you leave behind. So get a little aggressive here.
Oke, tim
I
TN
wonder
masuk.
if the teams running Nox are gonna go for
Oh,
that.
tim TN.
One more quick thing.
Tim TN ke arah ini, Cok, arah masuk.
Also worth remembering, Nightmare's on a 2 streak right now. They're on
Awas, awas,
back-to-back
awas.
wins.
Temu,
They
ketemu,
have a
ketemu,
chance
ketemu.
to pull a turkey here. They've got a chance for the hat trick. 3 in a row would be wild to wrap up the group stages. And the way they're playing, man,
Oh,
I think a
oh,
lot
tim
of people
TN,
are
tim
expecting
TN.
them to do just that.
Yeah, I mean,
Ketemu tim
they've got some really strong
BTH.
opponents already established. So
SSG.
I think it's gonna be somewhat easier for them to
Somewhat.
keep that
Pakai Nox
kind of
Killjoy,
aggression
Killjal.
But
Pakai
it's
Nox
all gonna
Killjal.
come down to, I think, how they handle this
Wih,
very
depan itu banyak
first
itu,
round
depan.
of the day, right? If they
Tim NTMR.
make
Oh,
sure
NTMR
that,
berarti
they're cool, that they're calm, they're collected, they have a
NTMR mau
bit of
coba
a
ke bawah
slower,
kah, nggak ke
more
atas?
steady pace in mind. So I'm
Oke.
really curious to see exactly how they're gonna look to kind of get the ball rolling here.
45 detik ke airdrop.
Going up to that very first airdrop that is going to be coming in, and Team Nature now getting set up around them, so there could be quite a bit of contention breaking out of this airdrop.
First airdrop,
Oke,
folks, maybe just
kena
turning first time
coy.
welcome
Ini pakai
or
senjata apa
late,
sih?
but hey, that's okay.
K437
We'd
kah?
love to welcome in some folks late into the group stages. First airdrop does drop a high caliber weapon. 50 caliber M82 could be the ARM, M38, the Pua ammo.
Wah, tim TN langsung ke atas, balik lagi ke atas anjir.
Pretty much anywhere you shoot somebody. They use
Harus nyelamatin itu sih, satu orang itu sih.
insanely powerful. It does look like
Oke.
the SSG landing right next to Space
Airdropnya
Station
di
Gaming.
arah
Shot
tim
playing
SSG.
aggressive towards this, but
Biasanya
maybe thinking better of it for
AWM.
some reason, not thinking
Match
they could
pertama
get
AWM.
an engagement that's
Airdrop
favorable
pertama
for them.
AWM.
They're gonna
Kan.
leave. Here's the problem. We're gonna take a look at this
AWM,
loot.
match pertama sekarang
Team
AWM
Ninja
coy.
is about to run square
1, 2, 3,
Liquids, surprisingly
4.
enough, who has left admin. So
Oke,
it is gonna be
ketahuan.
long. But Meg is gonna hit a couple arrows.
Ketahuan.
One of the only, if
LSZ.
the
Loh,
only
kok
player
LSZ?
that uses the
Iya sih.
compound bow in the competitive series.
Berarti ada 3 tim dong ini dong. SSG, LSZ sama
Land
tim
quite a few more than a couple of hits so far with that compound bow.
TN. Ada 3 tim di daerah itu.
With it yet again, you can see those health bars being pretty low. Slip now just keeping a little bit of distance, doesn't want to get pushed on
Bawa
just yet.
banyak kompok bau kah? Bau panah, anak panah. Ya, like.
Also just on the side.
Sorry.
But overall, Liquids, I mean, decent positioning. I like where they've
Nggak
got
dibuka itu.
as position as well. Just up the road here, so the moment that Team Nadeshot steps forward and they kind of
Oh,
get
ketahuan.
right, the duo pushing up on them.
Ketahuan itu yang di atas udah ada yang masuk ke
Puppy to come on through, so a lot of excitement could be had just here. Meg also doing the scouting thing, and they know exactly where to go, how to apply that pressure.
ketahuan itu. SSC ketahuan tim TN harusnya.
Yeah, I mean this is the interesting
Udah
thing
tahu
I
itu.
would say about this
LSZ.
Raptor is so
tim TN.
meta in
Dikit lagi tim
comps
TN.
that you can get your eye in the sky, you kind of wait on that intel, and if it doesn't seem like an opportunity to go play for an engagement, you kind of just wait. And all the action
Coba
later
aja.
if one of these teams gets a knock from distance, or when our timer begins to get low and people start playing for the extraction.
Ke arah mana ini? Oke, LSZ. Deket banget cok LSZ sama tim TN anjir.
Gonna give you the entire picture. Liquids
Visit
came down here. They started
NTMR
down
ke
with the
mini
GT
mayor,
advantage
mini
of that T1
substation.
squad didn't take a big fight with Team Liquid. Instead, came down to where they heard some
Oh,
early
tim
shots,
TN
which
masuk ke
was
ini cok,
SSG
mau
to
masuk
push
ke
up.
admin.
And
Itu
then
keren
they
sama
tried
LSZ.
to hold Team
LSZ
Nadeshot
tadi dari
initially as they're
LSZ
rotating out,
tadi
kind of
dari
missed their
admin.
mark. Hit a couple shots with the bow, now
Sekarang
catching
tim
them in
TN yang mau
transition here with the
masuk ke
drones, but
admin.
can't do much else but try, I guess, try to chase them down maybe. On the backside, as Team Nadeshot go to the north, play for Elevator Extract, or play for Team Liquid, or play for Admin. We did see that Nightmare has moved into the south side of the map. SSG's down at Visitor Center, as they're going to play for some loot and slowly clear south to north. Very quiet start.
Yeah, you can see these teams are taking today very seriously, hence the change in pace, right? They want to make sure that everything is as controlled as it possibly
Oke,
can
tim
be.
TN.
I like the approach coming through from Nightmare, going for that
Tim TN
bait
oke,
extract,
tim
making
apa
sure
ini?
that it is
NTMH.
taken quite early on.
NTMR.
Just waiting for it to
NTMR
activate.
mau
It's just a
ekstrak
few
situ
seconds
anjir.
away, so they'll be getting their hands on
Hah?
it to make sure nobody else can sneak it away from them.
Wow,
Ooh, let's see, they've put the money
kenapa
down.
ini NTMR nggak
Good
ekstrak semua?
roll, it has been claimed, and this opens up the opportunity for Nightmare now to go out and get a lot more aggressive because they have a little bit of the fallback.
Oke, LSZ dari atas, cuy.
Moving forward into this. In the meantime, BTH they are prepping themselves to go for that second airdrop as it is currently making its way down
Gimana ini?
to the ground.
Second eye drop,
Unfortunately
30
for them,
detik
Nightmare
lagi.
still hanging
Second eye
around
drop.
in the vicinity, and
Second
SSG
air
will
drop.
also pose a bit of a threat. Still all the way back over towards Visitors. They are not looking all too aggressive just yet, but probably there's most likely some sneaky tactic that they have in mind.
Yeah, patience is a virtue with Delta Force. It is an extraction-based game mode after all, but sometimes
Oh, di situ kah?
you need to
Oh,
make
di
some
situ.
cash.
Di
You're trying to make
dekat
it to grand finals.
di
You're
dekat
just gonna have to
mayor.
open the window. You gotta get
Mayor
really aggressive
substation
here.
di BTH udah
This
di
is much
keker
slower than
aja.
I was expecting from some of these
Oke,
high-caliber
gas,
teams.
masuk
Some
itu
of these
berani
teams
itu.
have ridiculous amount of kills.
Berhenti.
You know, I look at Space Station Gaming, they're at nice 82
Berani itu, ayo,
total
nggak ada orang
eliminations
itu.
over the course of the group stages.
Eh, ada cok.
I look at Nightmare, they're up to nearly 80 now. Team Liquid
Ayo, ayo.
almost 90. I mean, these are
Oh,
pretty
ada yang
aggressive
di
teams that
ini
traditionally
bos.
don't
Oh,
get kills
tim
very
NTMR mau
early in the
nyoba
first
ini,
half, but
nyoba ngambil airdrop.
right now, everybody feeling like if they make a big move, they're gonna get punished for it. And so for the first
Oke, kan ketahuan
10
di atas
minutes,
ada.
we've seen a little bit of looting and frankly not great luck, surprisingly. You
Huh?
usually see a lot more reds as
Nggak
well.
jadi ambil ini. Oh ya, NTMR dong yang ambil dong.
And hardly any bullet shot. More arrows than bullets.
Ambil, gas, gas. Ayo, berani. Ini berani. Lumayan itu satu poin kan ya? Belum ada kill di 8 menitan, belum ada kill. belum ada kill yang terjadi.
Quite interesting because we've got Team Nate here, we've got Team Liquid also making their way through. Team Nate trying with a slow, steady push inwards, and there's got to be 3 teams now cramming into the position here. Boy, though, could be the one
Gila,
to help
gila.
get the party underway. I like the showing of aggression here right on the front line, but is it going to be enough to start that
Oke,
cascade of
ketahuan itu.
gunfire?
Oke, kena
No
kepala
team
anjir.
looking like to shoot their guns, and there's some early
Dulu
shots that
kita
connect on Chris.
jauh.
He's gonna bounce out to heal off. As soon as they know
Oh,
Smiles
udah
is
ketahuan
close there,
3
it's
itu.
gonna
Tim
get
TN udah ketahuan 3.
a
Harusnya bisa
triple
ketahuan
bang
sih.
on all 3 members
Bang,
of
bang,
Team
bang, bang,
Nate
bang,
Shot. So currently knowing that, well, we're not getting third party yet, at least not at a close distance. So it's a third backing up as well.
Harus besar
I
kah?
believe that's Slept that has moved out and around the
Gini.
corner. Team Liquid know that they need to pay attention to their flank and make sure that somebody doesn't creep up. Packla ult coming into big use for some nice intel.
Tawan lagi.
Players coming through there.
Tawan
While
lagi
these
harus
teams are
mulai
currently
ini sih.
spraying off against each other, we also do see Liquids moving up onto that northern side.
Oke,
right
tim
through the zip lines
LSZ
as they
di
now start to get
arah
themselves into position.
menuju
So
arah
we're
ekstrak
not
ini.
only having 3 teams here, we are going to have 4 squads getting
SSG
ready for
anu
a
ya.
bit of a showdown. Meanwhile,
LSZ.
SSG and Nightmare, 2 teams that know that one of them has to try and do a little bit of something here today to solidify that second place and of course the ticket straight into the finals. Both taking a rather
Ada.
reserved approach, waiting for the rest of the lobby to fight it out amongst
Oke,
each
mode ke
other.
atas. Aduh,
But
di
Chris,
ini dong, di
Nightshot,
desa
has
LSZ
come
dong.
to walls now as they're trying to
Oh,
stay
nggak
out of
ketahuan
harm's way.
LSZ.
So much utility getting
Oke,
thrown
nggak
at them.
ketahuan LSZ, cok. Gila, 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 gila.
Here to third party.
Oh,
Things
ke
took
ini
way
ketembak
too
aja
long.
dari
Short
LSZ.
distance, Liquids still just trying to connect for
Nggak
something,
kelihatan
some
anjir
value,
charmnya.
some way to say it.
Oh kan,
The
BTH
action,
tim
first blood,
TN.
finally
Nice
comes through.
BTH.
Unfortunately, it is on Celeste. A little bit separated. Ladrao
Nice
check out.
BTH, nice.
Finds
Itu
his
loh.
way to the first kill through the window and the
Berarti
second.
ada
Team Nade Shot down
3
to
tim,
a
3
solo.
tim.
It's gonna be Smile trying to win a potential 1v3, 1v6 or
SSG
even
yang
more than
ngambil,
that
cok.
as Nightmare are
Padahal
all
tadi
the way
deket
to this fight
NTMR
as
padahal
well.
loh.
Space Station
NTMR
Gaming
tapi nggak ngambil malahan.
way far away will pick up a disc. Find
Ah,
down
NT
goes
tim
Team
TN.
Nade Shot. A little bit too slow playing for inside. They get caught outside and get eliminated.
Well, that's our first team completely wiped out. Nightmare now also on the approach. Space Station Gaming,
Kalau
the
ada
only
tim
teams to
NR.
join in the chaos here. Liquid's also still keeping quite a bit of a distant position, but this opens up things in admin. As you can see, BTH pushing a little bit further up on towards that northern side, trying to get themselves into the dam wall as they are going to be looking to pull the lever. Elevator has been started up, and now this is where things could get a little bit spicy. We've got pretty much the entire lobby, bar Team Nate Shot, now having the opportunity and the position to go
Oke,
contest the
tim
event.
NTMR. NTMR udah masuk sini anjir.
And just in time as well, about 40
Oke,
seconds or so
nice.
on the game clock once this elevator extract is
Ini
complete.
aku gak mau
We'll see how
mempersalahin
they
ini.
decide to try to hop on it. So far, Team Nade Shot, first team fully wiped.
SSC, SS.
And everybody else
Oke,
now playing
SSC.
around admin.
Enak boy.
Essentially had 12 minutes of the DK Coach podcast.
3
that being
menit.
turned
Aduh,
into
ada yang
Backdoor
ekstrak. Mending ke
Esports
ekstrak
action.
aja.
And with the final 4 minutes, I think this is about to be unbelievably chaotic.
Ini 1-2 orang ke ekstrakan.
BTH gonna make the first move on the elevator extract. Liquid's already there.
Well, both these teams need
Hmm,
points.
ketahuan,
I can
ketahuan,
understand
ketahuan.
the aggression coming
Oke,
through
ketahuan
from
itu.
either which side. Uppy Porno though with a nice little peek around the corner here. They can hear the footsteps. Ooh, the D-Wolf.
Di Wolf.
Nate's flying out. BTH though not going to be too deterred. They are going to try and apply the pressure. I like that angle position coming through from J-Device and Meg just trying to wrap around them to kind
Oke,
of
tim
sneak in.
PTH. Gimana tim PTH ini? Ayo, 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 ayo.
We've seen before, Meg is going to be
Here they
in
go.
for an absolute
Oke,
party, but
ketahuan
it's
itu.
gonna be push, push,
Nice.
push coming through now.
Tim PTH. Aduh, NT PTH kah?
Huge. BTH
Tim
were in a
PTH
big
satu
power
kenok.
position because Meg was playing the flank. They could have just full
Itu.
down the middle,
Ya.
potentially won this, but Jalen
LSZ gimana barusan, cok?
and down
What
goes
the
one
fuck,
yes
anjir?
member of BTH, but down goes two
Nah
members
dong.
of Liquid's Ka, Lord Jackal win that
Gimana, cok?
engagement.
Barusan LSZ
And
aja.
it's just Meg on the outside, bow in hand, gonna try to win a 1v2, and already letting him know that I'm on my way. Good luck.
Tar.
I know sometimes we meme about the bow. This is one of the few instances where I think this was a mistake. I think a gun in hand and playing with your team already in a power position on the extraction.
Oke, harusnya ketahuan itu.
For the first zero damn map. Off screen you can see it bottom right. Skies
Oh,
from
pasti
Space
pakai
Station
ini,
Game
Cok.
picked up
Aneh, Cok.
plays from Nightmare. So
Pakai
the main
kompon
Slayer
bow
cut
anjir,
down
mau
Nightmare.
ngeras pakai
Certainly
kompon
hamstrung
bow
with
kah?
this engagement.
Nggak
As
bisa.
Team
Bro.
Liquid, Nightmare, and SSG are about to be in a fight.
Oke, berarti harusnya tim
But your friend Megalith is gonna back off from the
NTMR
extraction point.
down,
Big fight, no kills,
anjir.
all lines, at least for
Gelo
Lucas.
SSG
DW as well. Nightmare
diam-diam
fully wiped.
ini, Cok, nge-wipe out
Yeah. Teams
NTMR.
continue to drop on down two already swept away.
Ketahuan sih harusnya. Harusnya ada yang pulang.
Not much really happening with Liquid's currently up in the elevator.
Aduh,
Meanwhile, it's gonna be
aduh.
Mendo
Waduh,
lining
satu
in.
orang SSG
Skies
down.
finds the hit and down he goes.
Aduh, dua orang
SSG
sekarang
now being
anjir
put on
aja.
quite a bit of a back foot as their second player is
Ayo,
gonna
Bang
be
Kiljal.
dropped on down as all
Habisin,
now
habisin,
relying on the
habisin.
shoulders here of Killzone, who
Aduh.
somehow
Ya.
step it up
Ya,
with the
anjir, Cok.
AWM and loses it
AWM-nya diambil
instantly.
dong. AWM-nya diambil tim TTL dong.
Just full send. I like the play from a team again that usually plays pretty aggressive. Team Liquid, Mendo, Hodzic, Boy, they full send into
TL
the
harusnya
party. You
ini
gotta
sih,
remember
apa?
Space Station Gaming was weak in their engagement that they took just a moment ago with Nightmare. Nightmare cut down.
BTH anjir nggak bisa di revive kah?
All three bodies back up on their feet. And a full team wide Space Station Gaming
24
down. They
detik
don't
lagi.
have time probably to grab the and try to get out with it. So Team Liquid are just going to sprint over to a potential fight as BTH still battling over this damn extract. They're going to keep calling the map.
Nice.
For Megalith. Megalith gone. Call with a
Ayo,
nice
ayo,
kill
ayo,
there.
pergi,
An
pergi,
extra
pergi.
point to the tally for BTH. Unfortunately, Boy's going to strike right
Aduh,
back.
oke,
They left him on
satu
the map to
ekstrak berarti
die.
satu orang
Team
ekstrak.
Liquid gonna find a fourth.
Satu ekstrak, satu ekstrak.
Yeah, I mean, really good play coming through here from Team Liquid.
Oke,
They are just picking
ya.
up points. We do
And
see BTH
harusnya ada yang
managing
pulang,
to
Cok, tim
squeeze
TL, Cok.
one player out.
Satu ke arah
Unfortunately,
dam
yeah,
chest
just
atau
falling
apa.
shy of
Harusnya ya.
points. Walking out of this round with 1.8 mil. Getting so close, but not close enough. Quick look back at what
Oh, ini
happened, how it
SSG
all
versus
unfolded, as we did see
NTMR.
SSG just reaching into
Tim
the
kuning
side
versus
there of
tim
Nightmare.
hijau.
Absolutely problematic for them. A little bit of relief coming through from the side of Killzone, but as we know, it was short-lived. Boy, though, just running into the side and causing absolute chaos. But now's the opportunity for the side of Team Liquid to see, can they find a little bit more value as we have just 5 seconds left on the clock, and this is pretty much over.
Yeah, pretty much over. You can't store that ammo anywhere. That is going to stay on the map. So nobody going to have a high caliber weapon going into our first Mantle Brick round. And our first eco round was frankly quite slow until the final 5 minutes. And once we got to the final 5 minutes, all the teams were trying to figure out how do we take fights without getting third-partied. And the answer is you don't. It was a third-party battle all the way down to the finish line. Team Liquid certainly the biggest winners from that one, though, DK.
Yeah, I mean, walking away with value, that is definitely something that helps set you up coming into the later stages of the day. But overall, I mean, a very, very passive approach to the action here. I think it's a little bit of nerves coming through as
Gila,
well. But at the end of the
BTH.
day, it is going to be BTH, our top
BTH,
team, as
5
they're able
kill
to
point.
get at least that one player out of this match. 1.8 mil in value.
Satu ekstrak,
Also bagging up those 5 kills and
5 kill,
100
6.
damage. So a very good
Dapat
start
apa ya?
for BTH. But is this them setting the kind of pacing for themselves here today?
Tim Liquid juga 5 kill.
Yeah, it's actually
SSG
really good.
3 kill.
They picked up 5 kills. They're actually the team that got the wipe
LAJ
on
2
Team
kill.
Nate shot, which is the reason why they picked up those 5. I kind of forgot about it because it was so much earlier than
Mendo.
the last engagement we saw.
Mendo.
So a nice pickup there, and then of course Megalith going down as well. These BTH are our biggest winners technically, just barely more than Team Liquid. So nice work there. You can see your stats wise.
Nice team work.
Picked up a solid amount of damage. Most of that was on Team Nate shot through the window. They weren't expecting the third party, and then here BTH Toots does pick up the number 1 assist position there, and then 1.2 mil because at least Lord Jockow did get out of the map. So great job from them.
Yeah, good job indeed. Money is going to help build up a little bit of something here. And also, Lord Jacko is going to be our MVP for the very first round. 3 kills in the bag, 1 assist, a nice bit of bank, and a chunk of damage as well.
Yeah, honestly played fantastic, and again just caught Team Nate shot in a bad spot. That admin third party was outside, not the inside. So there's a lot of windows in admin, and you all know how that works. So teammates shot go down early, and BTH stand tall in the first map, but we have plenty of more maps to play. And yes, eco is important, but kills and of course mantle bricks, which we'll be seeing in just a moment, will be the big ticket item. Before we go to a break, though, I do need to remind you of one very important thing. This is the last day of group stages. Season 1 coming to an end, but Season 2 right around the corner. If you want to play against some of these pros, potentially replace some of these pros, you can do that in open qualifiers. Registration opens August 10th. You can see it right down below. If you want to continue to learn more and keep up to date on all things Delta Force and all things the Delta Force Rise series, make sure you drop a follow on all major socials so you stay up to date on the news. But open registration opens August 10th. That's in a week, which is insane to say. Only a week away, open registration will start, essentially when we're doing finals. Really, really cool. So pay attention. Make sure you're following socials. We're going to head to a very short break. When we come back, a mantle brick round. It's going to be brackish, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
Hike like hike. Oke, 1 menitan berarti. Oke, 1 menitan. Which operation favorite? Which this operation your favorite? Saya suka pakai N2. Tapi ini warfaring N2 warfare aja. Terserah.
Welcome back. Delta Force Rise series just wrapped up our Zero Dam map here with America's final day of group stages, day 3 of week 4. And we've got 2 groups left that have their final match, and they look a bit nervous to me, Mr. DK. And I think the way that Zero Dam played, it felt a bit nervous. It was quite slow until the final moments, but BTH find themselves at the top of the leaderboard with Team Liquid right behind.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite an interesting turn of events that we've seen so far. But you know, one thing that I've been sitting here thinking about, looking at what we saw in this first round, right? Just kind of how the teams approached it. I think if one of these squads decides today that, you know what, we're gonna
Oke, lanjut ke Breakers. Siapa yang akan mendapatkan Mandel Brick dari Breakers?
Be the team to sit at the top come end of day, right? I just have that feeling, right? That's what I'm kind of sussing out here, and I think like because based on what we saw today, the teams were playing it a little bit more reserved, right? Not trying to do too much just yet. And I think this is exactly kind of the day where you have to push it a little bit harder because everybody else has that mindset. So I'm excited to see what's going to come through as we head into round number 2. Of course, we are going to be looking at a lot of that Uluru Raptor play coming through, a lot of incendiaries and rockets flying all over the place.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great shout. I think it's really important to play with confidence. Confidence can win gunfights. It's 100% the facts. If you play slow and you play a little bit scared, you're going to second guess some of your moves and you may be in trouble. Now, of course, let's take a look at our spawn predictions. If you all don't know, the only way spawns are dictated is you can't have a tier 1 spawn, which is in the red, in back-to-back rounds. So Brackish is a great time to potentially pull that tier 1 spawn because it gets you closest to the mana brick, closest to the first decoding station near the mana brick, and maybe one step closer to getting the brick. It also prevents you from getting a tier 1 spawn in our next economy round so that you can get it in the next brick round. You all know the drill. You hear me talk about it all the time. Folks, get your typing fingers ready. We want to reward you just for being here. I'm giving you a bit of heads up. There it is. Code on your screen. Redeem it in-game or at the official website. Go get your SR3 in combat ready skin right now. Only 25 total redemptions, so go redeem it as fast as humanly possible. If it says invalid, you are too slow. Got a couple more of these as we wrap up the group stages. Here's one.
Rise AMD for combat ready. Itu ada roti rhythm buat EMEA Eropa sih, EMEA sih. EMEA itu Eropa, Middle East, Asia. Luar. Hihi.
Let's see who's going to make that mad dash as the Mandel break is going to come online in the next 10 seconds or so. And both these squads pretty decently set up for that.
Quick look at the operative pool. It does look like Liquids is going to burn a Saniva very early. This is kind of a Meg thing to do. Meg runs the bow, Meg runs the Saniva. Equal plays. Instead, is just going to run straight at the Mandel break and get it because BTH is one level below. So a nice grab from Equal plays. We know exactly where he's going. I would say Mandelbricks are decoded on Brackish 75% of the time, maybe a hair less.
Oke, langsung aja di-cut anjir. Cepet banget, Cok. Langsung di-cut anjir. Gila, langsung di-cut aja. Cepat saja dari tim NTMR nge-di-cut.
Incendiary, rocket, and even the cover, all incredibly valuable, especially at that decoding station because everything is so compacted and in that close quarters combat that I'm talking about. So good moment there, and of course other operators worth mentioning. You see Raptor on several of these teams just for that extra intel. Gonna go ahead and
ini ada yang dari tower bawah.
Still very valuable in a map like this.
Dah cari item dulu ya. Wah, anjir, pakai kompon bow anjing. Terlalu pede aja pakai kompon boy. SSG di tengah. Mau ekstrak sekarang ke SSG aja.
Also this time having that T1 spawn, same as the last time we saw both these groups playing. So if that is saying anything, there might be a bit of an opportunity available to them this time around.
A little bit of deja vu, okay?
Do you get deja vu?
I don't know. Here we go. 2.5 minutes on the clock for the decoding station.
Okay, aduh.
Inside, but it's about to be chaos, or maybe it already is. A lot of util being spammed out. This is outside of the engagement. This is up at market, mid-map, just to the north of Museum. Team Nadeshot.
Oke, udah ketahuan itu tim TN sama tim Liquid.
They're not going to be fighting for the brick. They're going to be fighting against each other. One of these two teams decides to try to leave the fight and go play for the objective. They're probably going to get shot in the back. So these two teams going to be stuck in this engagement for a little while. Team Nashot desperately needing some points to make sure that they can play Friday and Saturday next week, while Team Liquid has a chance to potentially
Anjir, ini
play
nggak
for
ada
a
mau
top spot.
kontes
Second
kah
place,
di
rather, in the overall
NTMR aja?
standings. So still a lot to play
Ah,
for.
ketahuan tim
And
TN sama
$50
tim Liquid
straight in the
anjir.
boys' hands with that one, and every other kill they get on the map. Unfortunately, Team Nashot yet again in a position where they have player
Aman
disadvantage,
aja
and
ini.
unfortunately Slep goes right to his friend's body to
Ente
die,
tim
and
TN.
unfortunately Team Nashot is going to go back to
Waduh.
the lobby.
Yeah, I mean that is a very devastating blow coming straight into the side.
Ini mau coba ini, mau coba ini.
But of course now this opens up even more opportunities, right?
1 menit lagi nih, 1 menit lagi. 1 minute again, 1 minute again.
It's a good trade. Nightmare on 2, SSG on 2. They trade a player back and forth, but Nightmare still in control of the brick. Just trying to prevent Space Station Gaming from going to steal. Really,
Oke,
the only team
harusnya
actually
ketahuan
pushing
itu.
for the steal right now. There are teams in the area.
Oke,
BTH
tim
is here inside
SSG.
the museum, but nobody's actually made a move for the brick yet. SSG is the only
Oke,
team
ketahuan
going
lagi
for it.
itu.
And they've been able to trade
38 detik lagi, gimana ini, lanjut.
Everybody else, but you need to get both of them if you want to pause this timer. And SSG actually got their res, so they've got player advantage. They got to make a move here. They got to get aggressive. And the big question is, do they know where everybody on Nightmare is at?
Oke, ngedikot anjay, redikot. Anjir, Nightmare udah kehilangan 1 orang anjir. Gila ini tim SSG coy.
Is gonna look to maybe contest the brick yet again, but in the meantime, the rest of the lobby has also now started to tighten up the overall positioning. As you can see, Liquid
Oke, 3 menit sekarang dikotnya waktunya.
not too far away from them either. The pressure starting
Wah,
to stack
gila,
up.
tim Liquid
Attack
anjir.
helicopters getting downed as well. Beautiful shots being played here by Boy, but is that gonna mean anything for them moving forward? We have just under 3 minutes left on the clock, and we could expect
Tawan
that
harusnya.
metal brick to change hands multiple times before this round is over.
Oh my, I love this free cam. It's almost as like it's stuck in the corner, just watching a security camera showing us that, yeah, everybody's here. And
Let's
hey,
go,
I
let's go, let's go.
respect that, okay? Oh, Toot just barely sneaking away. Apple there from Meg. Saniva can be quite dangerous, but everybody's here.
Oke, ada lottering.
Thank you to Space Station Gaming for elongating this one so we can see a big
Anjir, pakai combo aku nggak bisa mikir cok, combo buat operational aneh cok, combo aja menurutku cok.
BTH here as BTH lands some great utility over the top through the window, trying to force back Liquid
Duar.
twice about it.
Sip.
Uluru inside the building, that takes
2
some
menit
kind of
again.
nerves to
Langsung
try
ke
and
arah
pull it off, and
museum
BTH not
semuanya.
trying, they did
Oke,
that, and it's
ada.
a hitbox is coming through, but Equal is gonna try and steal, and he gets denied as the shots come in. But that is a quick, successful change. Not enough though to deter him from stealing that one back again. So yeah, here we go with round number 3 on the brick. SSG gonna try their hand next, but first up, Equal has to try and bring the team back on their feet.
Yeah, Killzone's just gonna immediately go for the steal back. And
Di-steal lagi.
reset the overall timer, but it goes down another 30 seconds. So that reset
Di-steal again,
basically
di-steal again.
they just put it in possession of Space Station
Di-steal
Gaming.
terus anjir. Waduh.
Surprisingly, I think Nightmare actually got their
Anjing.
third back onto the back side of the balcony and are gonna get the res. That's why smokes are so dang important on metal brick rounds and just in general. If you've played any pubs, you know how valuable smokes can be. A little visual cover goes a long way. Nightmare back to a full team of 3, albeit I think Lucas may have been looted a bit, so he may not be full strength. Be curious to see what Nightmare decides to do as Space Station Gaming have, yes, the brick, and Killzall has a wild credit corner.
It almost looks like he's just staring at the wall there, right? I mean, that just shows you how sneaky that position is. And this is, I think, what's making Nightmare a little bit hesitant. They don't want to set up and push through just yet. They want to try and ride this one out, maybe to see if somebody else is going to dare venture on forward. Team Liquid, in the meantime, they are going to try and gain a bit of entry as they are wrapping around the outside.
Oke.
Starting to move up
NTMR
as well.
ngedikot
There we go,
lagi.
Nightmare coming through with a steal back.
Mesti lagi cok
Yeah,
anjir.
there's a well-placed incendiary. It's not going to do enough damage to equal place for him to not just stick that. Nightmare again back as a full team of 3. Reset the timer to 2 minutes. Next steal will put it at minimum time, which is 90 seconds. We can steal 10 more times, but it won't go any lower than that.
Oke,
90
ketahuan ini
seconds.
harusnya
So
di situ.
it's been a pretty good job from Nightmare and SSG to just pass the brick back and forth. And take
Oke,
advantage
1
of
menit
these
26
small,
detik
tiny windows when there's
bandelnya.
not somebody just
Apakah bisa
holding the
di
sideline,
capture
square
ulang
on the
atau
brick.
gimana ini?
Break the sightline with visual cover like a smoke. Smoke mine from Gizmo even, equal plays. Or just throw a smoke out yourself with a different operator and make a move. Looks like SSG can do exactly that. Let's make a move.
Yeah, they're gonna try and get their hands on it and try. They will.
Awas,
because
awas,
they
awas,
do
awas, awas.
succeed, and that is now the first
Waktunya
time
jadi
that
1,5
we've
menit
seen a
doang
change
ya.
coming through for
Karena banyak yang
Vandal
ngedikot-dikot
Brick.
terus.
I mean, no team's really advancing all too much, right? Team Liquid still keeping their distance. BTH
Oke,
still
gimana
quite active
lanjutannya nih?
downstairs, but are we going to see either of these squads on the outskirts look to contest that Vandal Brick as well? Because for the time being, it's pretty much just between Space Station and Nightmare.
Yeah, this brick has exchanged hands like 15 times, and it's just these two teams back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No team willing to just sit on a decoding station because there's no cover. So you steal it, and then you get gunned down if you don't back off. So they're stealing it, backing off, and they don't have a line of sight that's able to cover the entirety of the brick, especially when that smoke goes down. So another 90 seconds on the clock that has turned into 65. Will Space Station Gaming just go for it once again, or one of these other teams get aggressive and say, I'm tired of
Oke,
waiting.
nice. Oh, di
Yeah, go for
MTMR
it
lagi, cok. Ngedikat anjir. What a
Wanna see if
game.
he's gonna be able to get their hands
Oke,
in.
LSZ,
Nice.
LSZ.
There we
LSZ
go.
mau ini
Meg
kah?
steals it, and this is
LSZ
Luna
nge-steal.
stepping forward for their swing at the Vandal Brick. But of course, I think this is where
Ya, tim
Matt's
SSG
sleeve
ini,
of
cok.
combat,
Knock
compound
satu,
bow
anjir.
is gonna help them out quite a bit, even coming through
Oh,
with a grappling
ngambil
hook.
senjata.
Some big brain
Narik
strats
ngambil
coming
senjata
in,
itu.
but SSG though are gonna try and wrap their way around, see if they can
Oke,
maybe
1 menit
reclaim a
lagi.
little bit of the territory they've lost. We have just under a minute left on the clock, and the pressure is going. So you can see Nightmare trying relentlessly to just keep this one in their possession. Ooh, Liquids.
Yeah. Yeah, Liquids had stolen it before, just a small little area there on the top UI, but Liquids had stolen it before, but they also killed Killzall. This is a huge takedown into that engagement. It was a massive moment for this team, so disregard when you see that it's Liquids in control. 35 seconds on the clock, and Liquids have player advantage over Space Station Gaming. I don't think it can be Space Station Gaming going for this. However, look at Skies
Mobile.
taking down one member of Nightmare with a great flank up the forklift. A big moment, potentially. As trading of blows going back and forth. Boyd finds his way to 3 kills, but Liquid's still in control of the brick. People
Oke,
losing
nice.
their teammates left, right,
Nice.
and center.
Ya,
Still alive? No.
ya, LSZ
Holy wipe
interrupt
BTH
anjir.
finally
Wipe
go
out
again with
LSZ
third
anjing,
party.
anjing.
The timer is fully paused. No one in control. The next team to go for the brick will
Ya.
reset to 90 seconds again.
Ya, LSZ nih
Liquid's
anu,
out.
cok.
Team Nadeshot's been out for a while, and everybody lost a teammate in that engagement, and everybody was able to grab their bodies and go for the reses yet again. What a wild map thus far.
So after eight, after 8 times changing into different hands, we now sit with a paused Vandal Brick. So somebody needs to be the next team to step on up. It does seem like it might be Nightmare trying to get it underway as it has apparently.
Ya, LSZ anu, cok. Padahal tinggal dikit lagi nggak sih tadi?
The left side of the screen.
Malah end.
But the team's still quite hesitant. Nobody wants to full send. They know that there is quite a bit of pressure in and around that decoding station. But it is going to be SSG trying to risk it all as they step up.
Okay.
Start the timer back up again.
Oke, SSG lagi,
And now this is
SSG.
where things get really
1,5
serious
menit.
because we are
Wow,
down to
NTMR 2.
teams almost
Gila.
ready, and we don't have a lot of
Duar.
left in this round.
Gila.
Well, there's your 3.
Gila, cok. Kena lottering anjir.
Rocket comes flying
Kena
in to a
loading
tiny
lottering
corner,
anjing.
takes down 2 out of 3 members of Nightmare, and the third just gets gunned.
Gila,
SSG
kena
with a
lottering anjir.
big
Cepet
push.
banget.
A great play that I think yielded more results
Oke,
than
1
they were
menit
even
gimana nih?
expecting.
1
Space
menit.
Station Gaming in control and currently hunting down the remnants of BTH and Team Liquid while also maintaining control of this decoding station.
Aduh, aduh, aduh. Tim Liquid, tim Liquid.
Oh no.
Tim Liquid
BTH
mau
is
nyerang
on board.
PTH.
Team Liquid actually have their sights on them.
2 orang.
Kill
Killzall.
who's letting
Gila,
Space
anjir.
Gaming continue to
GG
res
Killzall.
Killzall, and he goes down
Anjir, 2 orang cok dibakar kah itu? Dibakar sama ini Kiljal aja. What a game.
Definitely in a world of trouble at this point. Solo up, not quite sure if they're going to be able to do all too much just yet. Could maybe still sneak in a cheeky play, but there's very limited time left on that Mandel break. So Team Liquid focusing on getting the team numbers down.
Awas, awas,
And
awas.
it does seem like SSG
11,
keeping their
10,
focus
9,
solidly locked
8,
on defending
7,
that Mandel
6,
break. But BTH
5,
gonna try and
4,
contest it. They have to be
3,
really quick
2,
about it. That
1.
there's already a few moments left.
Udah. Nice. SSC. 3 kill. Berarti semua kill di SSC anjir. Ketahuan. Ya, SSC. Jangan gini SSC. Dikit lagi. Gila anjir. What a game from SSG. Aduh. Tai emang tai.
But I think Space Station Gaming just stick this res yet again. He needs to put one of these down and complete the kill, so they can't just keep getting these reses. Many of their players have already been to yellow. You get a full confirm, they will be out for the count.
Well, we got 2 now.
Alah, lewatnya aneh. Nice. SSG. Walaupun nggak bakal ini ya, bakal ekstrak ya kayaknya ya. Ini gila, udah ada. Nice team. View. Oh, 3 lawan 3 sekarang. 3 versus 3 anjir. Ayo gas. 3 lawan 3. SSG gila. Gila, SSG. Hot seek. Tim Liquid. Ketahuan kah itu? Shoo, ayo gas. Pam. Oke, harusnya ketahuan sih itu. Gila cok, tim SSC anjir. What a game. AWM, ngambil AWM lagi. Siapa ini ngambil AWM cok? Tim Liquid yang ngambil AWM. Yo. One XP lagi anjir. Gak bisa nggak sih? Gak bisa masuk save box kan itu? Maya ibarat 1000 ya. Pintar satu ekstrak, pintar banget ya. Ya telat. Telat ini SSC skis anjir. Telat. Wah. Why lag?
Doesn't matter how this one ends off. So SSG are going to be the team sitting at the top because they was able to get a successful extraction or decoding rather of that Mandel break.
Nice kill there from Hazik though. Again, Team Liquid just looking for points. They want to be in a second place position and a pole position, a podium position going into tied first.
Oke, mau nyerang ini. Aduh. Ente. Almost.
too easy almost put on a
Oke.
show for us, but
Gila.
there
Tapi
goes
keren
the
sih tim
time.
SSC nya.
Team Liquid,
Tetap dapat
they at least
dapat
get a couple
dapat kill
kills
banyak
right
tadi kan
above the
SSC ini.
lobby, and they at least
Sama
get
ini cok apa?
Mendo out of the lobby
Sama
with
ini juga
a
banyak apa?
very
Dapat
important
mendul
note that
juga.
maybe snuck under our
Untung.
noses, because Mendo left the engagement, said, "No, that's not for me. Let's go get an objective to prepare for future rounds." I really like this forward thinking from Mendo. It's well worth it considering you can't buy the ammo for this weapon at any point in the competition. You have to earn it on the map. So great job from Mendo to stay alive after getting res back up, get out, get the and get out of the map, especially with little amount of time left on the game clock. So great job there. But of course, Space Station Gaming, the top team, the best team, because they picked up the most kills by a ton. They picked up 9 kills, a great game, nearly 2,500 damage. Some assets gained in the safe boxes, of course, but the Mantle Brick, the most important piece. Space Station Gaming, back in Final Form.
Yes, sir. They unlocked those 9 kills alongside
9 kill anjir.
But of course,
Iya
Team Liquid also
anjir.
managed
9 kill cok, banyak banget anjir.
Mendo out with that very
9 kill doang. Doang 9. Berarti dia dapat 9 poin. Tambah Mendel 1.
The one coming in hot pursuit, sitting at the top of the board here with those 4 kills in the bag. I mean, SSG trying everything they possibly think of in this round that they not only get the Mantle Break, but they secure as much opportunities for themselves in this round. So I'd say very well done.
Yeah, Killzone is back in Final Form. Space Station Gaming back in Final Form. They're crushing it right now, and I think it was great patience from them as well to take the engagements at the right time and also stick their reses at the right time. It's something that a lot of teams get too scared to do because of that notification that goes off when you're getting the reses. But Sky's going to end up being your MVP, and I will shout out Mendo as well for being top asset earner as the only player to get out of the map. But Sky's MVP with 4 kills, plenty of damage, and some assets in pocket. Great job from him. Great job from Space Station Gaming. They're at the top of the leaderboard, no question about it. And I think Team Liquid will be right behind them. No Mantle Bricks for Team Liquid, but solid amount of kill points and assets. Folks, you see it down below. Drop a follow on all major socials here with Delta Force, including the esports channel. A lot going on in the scene from Season 2 that's coming up. And of course, even updates coming up down the line with the main part of Delta Force for you to play in public lobbies. So a lot going on with Delta Force. Drop that follow and get ready for Tide Prison. We'll be right back in just a moment with Sneaky Tide Prison.
Satu menit lagi.
series just wrapped up our first Mandelbrick round here with Americas in the final day of group stages. The final chance for these teams to push their way up the group standing leaderboard and maybe make it straight to finals or just secure a spot in the survivor stages next week. Killzall Space Station Gaming, they grabbed the first brick and they grabbed the most amount of kills, back to true and final form of 9 kills on the map playing out of Museum. Everybody was there, everybody tried to take part, but only a couple teams benefited. Team Liquid, Space Station Gaming, namely, well, they won out the most. You'll see it on the leaderboard in just a second. And DK, I'm excited to get into Tide Prison. I think it'll be a fun eco round. It may, looking at this leaderboard, it may mean that some of these teams at the top get a little loose and go even more aggressive to kind of put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of metal and there's a lot of pedals that they could be hitting at this point. And looking at the scoreboard, it is getting pretty close. Liquid and SSG, a little bit of that copy-paste. The only difference between them, of course, is that SSG has a Mandelbrick on board. And so that is going to be applying a little bit of pressure, but not in this round, right? This is going to be the eco run. So I'm going to be looking at two teams here, BTH and Liquids, right? They need to climb that board. As we know, the lowest point for them to try and hit today is going to be second place. That is where they have to try and get to, and of course do so with Mandelbricks in tow as well. The same can be said there for Team Nateshot if they want to jump up into that Friday day of play. So a lot of pressure riding on the shoulders here for the squads. SSG though having a bit of an opportunity to sit back and just breathe again, right? It's good to see them really locking in with those kills, getting themselves back into the form that we know and we are so familiar with. But of course it's all down to how they can continue to play through this Tide, right? Because Tide Prison, always an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise for me on that leaderboard is Nightmare. This has been a team that has been so dang strong in the last couple weeks that to see them basically with 0 points. I mean, they have 2 technically just because of resupplies, but other than that, they've basically not gotten anything on the map. So pretty surprising there. They're going to come in pretty cheap in Tide Prison. They need a big map here to re-up and get some more substantial gear going into our next Mandelbrick round. Quick look at the operators, though. It looks like most teams don't have a Raptor now, and it looks like Liquids doesn't have a D-Wolf with a couple Toxics gone as well. So, yeah, some interesting comps going into Tide Prison. Usually we talk about double Noxes potentially making a play, and I think that's kind of fun for some of these teams, especially if they're going to be fairly aggressive and go for kills and look for kind of solo hero moments or great flanks, etc. We'll probably definitely see some Morses as well, just get a lot of value out of the sonar that Morse provides. But other than that, I think it comes up to player preference. Could see maybe even the second Saniva for Liquids and Meg, but here's a look at what we see the most popular operators, regardless of what I was talking about.
Yeah, we do see Shepard, Nox, and Morse being used quite frequently when stepping over into Woodstein. Of course, the players, they could choose whichever. Nox predominantly being used here. That's almost always a guarantee, right? Pretty much like we see Tempest heading over into Space City. But I think Shepard also a very, very strong option for that. And as you've said many times before, Morse really good for gathering that info, especially if you're not sure whether or not you're about to get jumped.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And then also we all know that the rats are going to be in, okay? There's going to be a lot of people hiding in corners, hiding behind doorways. There's a ton of verticality. You can get shot from a weird angle that goes through prison bars, down through another set of prison bars, and shoots you in the head. Like, there's a lot of weird spots on Tide Prison. And as we look at some of the spots on Tide Prison with the spawns, I think it's worth reminding you all, of course, that BTH and Nightmare got a really nice priority spawn in Brackish, which means they will not get a priority spawn in Tide Prison. They'll be eligible again in the next round, which are our next Mandelbrick round. So really don't really want the T1 spawns on Tide Prison. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Lanjut Space City lagi.
Competitor, maybe you really want to get active from mid-map, and you think this is the best way for you to do that. I haven't seen anybody get really active at Tide Prison. So hey, you proved me wrong, but otherwise,
Space City, Space City, Space City.
so that you can prepare for the Mandelbrick round and hopefully get a nice spawn there on Space City. But folks, we've got more.
Siapa yang akan bakal main derpik kali ini, anjing?
Delta Force Rise Series, a chance for you to play in this competition. You see that open registration. That registration opens on August 10th. If you want to get into Season 2, it's open qualifiers. That's how most of the teams, or some of the teams, got here for Season 1. There's a chance for you to get there in Season 2. I'm seeing chat. You all know I like to be active in chat during these competitions. I'm reading all the criticizing of teams. I get it. I see some of the stuff you're seeing. but you gotta go get in the game and see if you can do better. To do that, you've gotta sign up. Open registration August 10th, and then we'll play a little bit later from then on out. It's gonna be wrapping up this year, so be ready to ball out and maybe prove some of the haters wrong. Let's get into the action though, DK. It's time for some Tide Prison.
Yes, sir. It is indeed time for us to get this party underway. It is going to be Space Station and Liquids finding themselves with that T1 spawn. Now, this is Liquids' second T1 spawn, right? They got it over on Zero Dam. Now they get it right here in Tide as well. So, a very interesting dealing going in that direction. But of course, you can see both them and SSG just
Ini Tide Prison aja, bukan
getting right up
bukan
into
PSID aja, Tide Prison ternyata.
a little bit of that loot, starting us off with a little bit of a back and forth peek through the doors.
Oke, Tide Prison.
Interesting play coming through here. Ooh, does he a throwback coming in? Kills though, kicking us off with the first blood.
A call and response. They heard my call for action and they find the angle immediately. Space Station Gaming, I told you they might get a little loose because they've got some room to work on the leaderboard. They've got the first brick. They've got some room for error. Let's full send. One player down. This is the signal player you need to full send these fights.
Banyak
With
banget
Nox
knocknya
in
anjir.
tow, and I try to shoot them down, but unfortunately, not thinking like it's worth it to go for a swim and try to battle in the water. So instead, let's just grab this body, put it in a place they're not going to be able to get it back, and probably loot it so we can take everything off of it.
Yeah, could be. I mean, that's a good way to make sure that you get everything of value from that. Also, you just gotta watch out for the sharks. That is one thing. But in the meantime, we do see Equal getting his hands on a bit of that red loot as the coffee has been found right on cue. As we look to see them now just, cooking that up, getting it ready, sipping on some coffee and coming back with that high caffeine boost as they push through the remainder of this round. But again, though, Meg is going to be set up with the compound bow, ready to strike across the way. If
Confirm
anybody dares
weekend
to push
anjir.
in.
Apa nih pakai pohon bow
Place
aja.
to be in,
Compound
frankly,
bow.
all the way back on the backside of the map. And hopefully one of these connects. And wow, Farmer Lucas from Nightmare able to pull 1.4 mil. Holy cow, let's do a quick vibe check and see what they were
Dapat.
thinking going into this map anyways.
Seconds before deployment,
Server kah?
as the IGL of our team, what's going through my head is how to call confidently and execute a perfect round for me and my teammates. If my teammates find entries, I will be supporting them, and if I find an entry, I expect my teammates to support me.
Well, there you go. Some very tactical and logical breakdowns of what the IGL role is, which I can appreciate. But hey, he's got a server in tow. That's a nice 1.4 mil. And look at Smile, also pulling 1.9 mil. Okay, luck is finally starting to enter the lobby. This match is getting exciting. I like it.
Yeah, they bagging some big reds right there. We did see Gills also picking up that red card as well. So let's see if are going to be finding any more of that. Most of those things, of course, can fit quite comfortably in this 3x3. But it's all going to be down to who can get not only the value, but also get that value extracted, right? It helps a lot if you have it, but it helps even more if you can walk away. Now, everybody just going about their business. SSG still going to be looting it up. They are still pretty much holding J Device captive right there alongside them. Talk about camping a body. That is taking it to the whole different level.
I mean, you got to. Let's take a quick look back on the replay of how Killzall found this angle. Just got down at the right time and drop shotted him. Oh, that is a brutal replay. Great play there from Killzall.
Langsung aja ada di end.
Nice find. That body not going to get picked up
Cepat juga.
anytime
Nge-end aja.
soon, if at all. So great play there from Space Station Gaming to at least punish or find an opportunity rather to get a kill. In regards
Berenang
to
ya.
reds, I mean, the best reds are the key cards. You need one slaughters, but that server, I'm pretty sure is a 3x4. I don't even think that fits in his safe box. So Farmer Lucas just gonna be lugging around a giant server in his backpack for a while. We'll see what he's able to do on the map with the IGL calls, though. Look at the map of where everybody's set up. I think big ticket items, of course, you do see Team Liquid all the way on the northwestern side of the map. Team Nade Shot in the east. Liquid's fully split, playing their own game. Poppy is all the way bottom right, and Meg is stage chat if I'm seeing the verticality correctly. Base Ancient Gaming and Nightmare close by, maybe the next engagement. But things slowed down.
Yeah, we might be in for a bit of a ride here as we still have about 13 minutes left on the clock. Nobody going to be looking to make any crazy major steps just yet. We did have J Device, the first one down, but other than that, we're not seeing anybody else really looking to contest. I mean, there is a bit of a standoff here between SSG and Nightmare. I think we could just deal with a few of the scouts around them. Ooh, this could be a beautiful snowball play coming through yet again. And there we have the opener. Equal locks on it, picks up Skies, and this is now going to be go time.
Yeah, just a bit of a mistake there from Skies. Couldn't tell, maybe just open the door at the right angle for equal place to line him up. Skies down, too easy and kills all. Gonna slow things down here. Can't push into a full team of 3. Especially, I know Nightmare doesn't look great on our overall leaderboard, but they're a very strong team. Killzall's just watching the flank, making sure there's not gonna be a third party while they discuss what to do in that engagement.
Tawan kayo.
This is a fun watch.
Saya ketahuan itu.
Cause just hanging way back here, and Meg's having fun just doing some target practice. A moving target from like 600 meters away. Why not?
The impressive part is if Meg gets to hit that shot, Carr would never have seen that coming, right? Because Carr is not necessarily looking in his direction. He knows that there's some kind of danger up ahead of him, but it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Meg can actually get that shot landed. I think it'd be interesting to know what's the longest hit that Meg has successfully secured with that compound bow.
Yeah, that's a good question. Listen, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, a wise man once said, so take your shots, Meg. I'm about to break out my best David Attenborough impression if we're not careful, so let's listen in to some of the team cons on Team Liquid and see what they're yapping
You got a
about.
call on TikTok?
Yeah, I get that shit daily. Shit's annoying.
I click not interested when I get him. That's fucked up.
Mic check.
That's actually fucked up.
Belum ada kejutan lagi ini.
Well, a nice listen in. Uh-oh. Hey, in
Jarak
that
jauh
listen
banget
in, they're
anjir.
talking about TikTok calls.
Panah aja.
Let's swing over. Team Nate Shot. Smile, my goat. A full wrap on Hackclaw. He's currently alone, and he found an angle. SSG in deep trouble. Skies got cut down earlier. No chance of getting that body. And he finds one. Too easy down. Kills all alone.
Nice little bit of loot there for Smile as well. Getting his hands on some info as he knows that there's at least one person ahead of him. And we can of course see exactly who that is. It is going to be Killzall just waiting up top. Already got the angle on lockdown. Is he going to be able to do enough to continue with the defense, right? SSG. I don't think they're going to get too much if they don't have a successful run in this one. They do have the Mandel brick in their hands. So you just got to focus upcoming into round number 4. But in the meantime, we did see that drop coming down pretty close.
Mulai gerak, mulai gerak, mulai gerak.
BPH here as the Lord Jago is going to be looking to push on forward. Meg again going out of here with the compound core. Can he hit the shots? Oh, he's getting close, but not close enough. Fortunately, though, Meg still has 28 more. So we could be here for a good hot minute to see whether or not Meg is actually going to be able to get that shot in.
Let me be very clear. Meg is shooting the entire width of Tide Prison map. I need some nerd in the chat. I'm
SSG?
also a nerd, okay? That
Kira
is
ada yang
not
mati kak
derogatory
SSG cok.
term. I need
SSG
some
tinggal
nerd that knows the width
Killzall.
of Tide Prison.
Killzall.
Meters, pixels, I don't care. Somebody tell me the width and see
SSG
how
tinggal
far
Killzall.
away Meg is taking the shots. Look at the map. BTH was all the way down here in West Watchtower area. I mean, you couldn't almost shoot the boat any further. So somebody let me know. Somebody do some research for me. Maybe open up the game. I can't boot it up on my setup while gassing. Maybe boot up the game and tell me how far away that is. Because that's just unreasonable. If it hits, it would be sick. But guess what?
Kena HPD dong itu dong.
No more talk of TikTok. Team Liquid just wiped BTH. The Rats win again.
Well,
Nggak
there we
nganu
go.
dong.
The angles are going to be paying off for them. Team Liquid now trying to get a little bit of something from this nightmare. Are going to look to push in as well. Oh, this could be brutal. Equalizer can't see a single thing, but the shots are in.
Oke, nice. Aduh, tim Liquid hancur.
A big play from Nightmare. Team Liquid confident from their last engagement, but the third party from Nightmare almost a cleanup there.
Hampir.
Almost getting a couple trades, and unfortunately Nightmare just immediately get all of those reses back. So no extra kills. Oh, nice ventilator pull.
Lumayan,
No
merah.
extra kills
Ventilator,
side of
mahal.
Team Liquid, but they got enough to at least find some value on the map.
Nice.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that that might be the most valuable airdrop I've seen in a while. That was multiple reds, ventilator, gold bar. You know, you're starting to clear $1 million on that second airdrop. Maybe not as low value as I've been talking about for a while.
Yeah, the value going the distance, and it's good to see exactly just how much of it they were able to get from that. But the big important part for them is going to be to extract with that in tow. So not quite sure how they are going to look to play through it. Are they going to go for a quick full extraction, or maybe try and work their way to that far southern side? Either which way, they're going to have to do a little bit of something if they want to get all this value out. And already sitting up to 7.4 million, they are having a field day here.
Yeah, I think certainly.
Dia throw
agree.
in di mid.
Nightmare is
in
in a
mid.
great spot now after that engagement and looting up.
Bulat
the
mana di
bodies.
Killjoy.
A lot of bodies in the area. Team Nade Shot also got some nice engagements, which they desperately needed. Reminder, Nightmare and Team Nade Shot were the two teams at the bottom of the leaderboard, so it was a big move. This is the eco round they needed. This is what I had just called out. You needed eco here. They had literally nothing to show for the first 2 rounds because they got wiped early. They needed the eco to be able to buy the kits they needed going into Space City. So a pretty big moment. Maybe even worth getting some of these high value
Okay,
moves,
NTMR.
stacking up a player to the gills and getting them out.
Oke, ini mau ngambil airdrop kedua kah ini? Harusnya di situ ada airdrop kedua ya.
They do have just a few seconds until that southern extraction becomes active, but Liquids are pretty decently set up there in anticipation, waiting for somebody to push up to it. You can see Meg in
Udah diaktifkan
position
cok,
alongside
luar
Bobby,
coy.
just over towards the south
Oh,
here.
ada tim ini cok, tim
And I think
hijau ya.
that
Tim hijau
practicing
mau ke
that Meg
arah
has been doing in the
ekstrak.
compound bow already, trying to get the shots up into BTH. Could be paying off now as Nightmare starts to move up.
If Meg hits this shot, I'm dropping 5 gifts at least. Gotta hit the shot and.
Oke, harusnya ketahuan sih, tapi
Hmm.
kan nggak nganu coy.
Oh wait, equal place just
Jarak
showed us,
jauh
what is
banget.
that, 270 meters? I think it's 270. I thought it'd actually be a little bit further.
Sekilo
That's
anjir,
very
jarak
far.
jauh banget cok.
At the rangefinder scope. Oh,
Kena lu.
hit. Oh,
Wow.
I was almost
Kena
down
lu.
5 gifted. That was crazy. Gotta hit.
Sekilo anjir, jaraknya jauh banget cok.
Feel like we're watching a mini game. Reminder, there's a lot on the line right now, but
Duar.
I can appreciate Meg's
Duar.
consistency in this moment. And hey, it also makes Nightmare think at least for a second, think twice about jumping down and going for the extraction, theoretically. Only 3.5 minutes on the clock, but after thinking twice about it, they said, okay, never mind, let's just go. Oh no! Deathwing! Deathwing broke his legs! Ooh. Oh no!
Oh,
We're gonna have to go for the res.
oh,
I love that we got that from Meg's
kenok
perspective.
anjir, kenok di situ coy.
I think what would have been what would really put the cherry on top if Meg gets one of those hits while they're busy dropping down,
15,
right? Like
14,
a
Oh,
air
yeah.
13,
compound bow hit.
12,
That would be,
11, 10.
that would be
9.
super sweaty and
Wah, tim
But
hijau
let's see.
ekstrak dong berarti dong.
Meg
Tiga-tiganya
also
ekstrak anjir
have a
3.
few
Nice extract.
get onto that as the extraction point is now
Nice.
active. Ooh, Nightmare get the ticket and out they go.
Nice.
I think they were expecting
Ya,
a bit more resistance
ente
because
dong.
they moved at the perfect time to get there with
LJ tinggal 2 ente
2
dong berarti dong.
seconds remaining by the time
Harus
they were able
masuk
to
sih.
climb onto
Kalau
the
nggak masuk
platform.
sulit
So
sih.
great job from Nightmare. Again, I said this right before we started this game. The win condition, what Nightmare needed to do is exactly what they did. They needed to get loot, they needed to get kills, and they needed to get out. They needed asset. They had 2 points, which is just what you get for playing the game. Just the resupply gave them those 2 points. And so with that in mind, this is a big moment for them to kind of swing the momentum back in their favor. They're going to be able to play the game they want to moving into the next Space City round.
Yeah, I mean, 8.2 mil, that is going to help them out quite a bit as well. So, yeah, Nightmare just on the money with that one. Really good play, but let's take a look back at how Nightmare got themselves into that extraction.
Ya.
No, that's
Yep.
crazy.
You gotta watch out for the sudden stop. See,
Senyum-senyum
so
anjir.
it's not the height that hurts, it's that quick stop at the end.
Yep, baru pulang, mau pulang nih, mau
it's-
pulang.
It's the landing on the rock there
PN
rather than the
Sepel
water, I
mau
suppose.
pulang, mau
Oh,
pulang.
man. Production having a laugh, just like
No
we
backpack
are.
kah? No
Fair
backpack
enough.
pulangnya ya.
I respect the replay.
Ya kosong bang.
All right, about 100 seconds on the clock for Team Nation to figure out what they're going to shove in their safe boxes. Would be surprised if they don't elect to try to get a player
Okay.
out. And actually, they're nowhere
Okay.
near. Misread the minimap there. They're actually nowhere near an individual extract.
Kan
It's
pulang.
gonna be Meg
LZ.
closest to it. So spent a ton of
Ya.
arrows with very little reward.
Ya,
but
pulang
at
dong.
least
Ya,
they
nggak
get
pulang
out,
dong yang
protect
lainnya.
some of the loot on them. I think that's an important note. And nobody else will be able to take it out. Like
Ya,
Killzone
nggak
was
pulang
gonna
dong.
play for this. Maybe spotted
Satu
or
doang
burnt
yang
them.
pulang.
Killzone would like to find a kill here. Poppy gonna be left alone for Liquids.
Ya.
Liquids the same. Big 1v1. Potentially about to happen on main in the final 60 seconds.
Ada nggak sih ini?
While Team Nadeshot creeps around the rest of the map looking for any loot or whatever they want to do for the next little while. Killzone was
Ah, udah
looking
dia
for
dong.
kills. No, he was looking to extract here, I think.
Ada kesempatan lagi dong.
Yeah, unfortunately, he now realizes that that is not going to be a viable option, and
Okay
that
lah,
is
nice
pretty
lah.
much his
Kill
ticket
all, kill
punch right there. There's not enough time left on the clock for him to make anything else to really happen at this point. He's just simply too far away. But this is where Bobby Bauer could also still be.
Kita lihat
quite a
Killjoy
bit
lawan
of a
2 ini, Killjoy lawan
player
2.
at this point.
Killjoy
You can
versus
see
2.
Killzone now getting
Killjoy
pushed
versus
from
2.
multiple directions, right? Team Nadeshot moving up, and Bobby around about to peek around the corner here. Killzone.
Ah.
Oh, terrible timing. Goes for the util, and they jump at the perfect moment. Killzone gets cut down. Team Nadeshot gets an extra one in their belt. Can he get the
Lumayan
full?
Cok, dapat 1 kill
Might be
anjir.
able to get the kill and a full on Team Nadeshot
Lumayan dapat
to
1
make
kill.
his life worthwhile here in the final second or two.
Ya, dapat
Nice
1 kill,
play.
keren anjir.
Team
Bah.
Nadeshot get one. Liquids get another. Okay.
Oke.
Got some value on the map. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? If you need to go out there and be an absolute menace, go ahead, right? Do what you gotta. But now comes the big shift, right? This is where the team's gonna have to kind of step up that approach as we are gonna be changing things up, right? Space is gonna be the next one. And Mandelbrick already in play, right? We did see SSG unlocking the first one. Are they gonna make a full send trying to get that second one, or could we potentially have one of the opposing teams looking to get their hands on a quick cheeky deco?
That's a good question. Nightmare, though, going to be best team. They do pick up 3 kills. They pick up 8.2 mil assets because they're picking up reds off bodies. And they also all get out. So protect their loot, get out of the map. The team that was near bottom of the leaderboard, tied for last, just made a big move on this leaderboard to be well within contention moving into Space City. Going to be the best team because of all that loot value. But Team Liquids did pick up a team wipe. They picked up 3 kills. Team Nadeshot picked up 2 kills. And then Space Station Gaming and BTH and Liquids all picked up kills. So at least everybody got a little bit of something.
Yeah, everybody gets it all. Speaking about which, though, our top killer is going to be none other than Nightmare's equal, as he did bring at least 2 kills to the board here. Smile also managing to bag up a little bit of something there. Puppy getting that one, as we saw right at the end there. But equal, though, going to be sitting at the top with the damage right alongside Killzone and Smile, looking to bring some possession in for their squads. But DW is going to be the one lending quite a bit of a helping hand onto the side there of Nightmare. And a very successful run here on Tide for the side of Nightmare as they are at the top of the asset owners.
Yep, it's a great move. All got out. Perfect timing as well, just in case they were getting camped. This is what I like about Farmer Lucas as the IGL man. The guy does not make mistakes very often because he doesn't take any chances. But equal plays, gets credited the MVP with a couple kills, some nice damage, and of course, a solid amount of loot from that extract. So great job there. Nightmare back on the board, playing much more like the Nightmare that we expected to see after 2 match wins in a row. It's time for them to step up, and they do that in Tide Prison. We're moving to Space City next, folks. Our next Mandelbrick round technically could be the last game, DK. Quickly, do you think Space Station Gaming can close it out before DK, or do you think it's going more than that?
I don't think they will. I think the lobby will stop them before that.
Okay, thinking that we're going to go a little more than 4. We'll see. Space Station Gaming can close it out, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. Space City up next. Space Station Gaming. I don't know if the names match. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Tips, the educational series where we break down the high-level strategies powering the Delta Force pro scene. Now, today, joining me on the couch is the star captain and, of course, the fragger all the way from Space Station Gaming. Killzall, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty excited to be here. Now, let's discuss a few things, right? We are going to be looking at the landscape, which is, as we've seen, pure madness, right? Evil Geniuses, they planted the brick quite early, but as multiple teams like FaZe and Nightmare look to congeal onto the brick itself, starting a bit of a bottleneck, this is where you decide to cultivate your Tempest ult, just run and dive into the fire, straight into the flames, discovering and detecting that there are players that you eliminate quite a few of them, and in that you also anchor the platform completely alone and lock it in for that round. Watching the sequence back, right? The Tempest push through the fire was incredibly aggressive. Now, was that something that you committed to immediately, or did you recognize the opportunity as the fight unfolded?
I recognized it immediately. I've played the character for a long time, and you could actually just roll through fire so you take minimal damage from it. And my teammates needed me out there, so I'm not going to leave them hanging. I'm out there to brawl with them.
Reflecting on the section that we're talking about here, right? Where do you think the fight was actually won? Was it the rotation? Was it the Tempest play? Or was it something the viewers might not immediately notice?
The fight was won when my teammates were holding off a whole team by themselves, just the two of them, 2v3. Easy got 2 knocks on the ramp team. Skies unfortunately died instantly, but Easy got the 2 knocks, almost got all 3. He just ran out of bullets, and he completely clutched up the brick for us there, while I was down rezzing in the building, staying alive for the team. And they were just there to protect the brick for as long as they could.
Well, definitely sounded like there's reason why you have such great faith in your fellow teammates there. So well done that one. But now for the final question, and this is going to be for the operators at home, right? If there's one pro tip that they could take away from this clip, what would it be?
Trust in yourself and your teammates. You got to have the confidence to take the fights yourself, and you got to have the confidence in your teammates as well. And if you can't trust them, it's hard to take these fights. You just got to completely fall into each other's arms and just be a nice big old team.
So you didn't just wait for the opportunity, you forced the entire lobby to play at your tempo. So thank you so much for sharing your champion's mindset here with us today, and best of luck in the rest of the group stage. For the operators at home, be decisive, trust your team, and go take those points for yourself. I'll see you next time on Pro Tips.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise series, ladies and gentlemen. Just wrapped up a riveting Tide Prison, and we saw a couple kills, exchange blows, but it was Nightmare that got all three players out, and therefore crept up the leaderboard by a sizable margin. They needed that loot value to prepare for what is next, which is our first Space City round, and of course that means it's Mandel Bricks until we are done. I'm pumped to see this leaderboard. We know that Space Station Gaming have the first brick and therefore have a power position on this map. They move in as the only team on match point, the only team that could close out the competition right here, right now. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. DK, walk me through it.
Well, as we can see, we got the players from SSG still holding strong, holding steady, but Team Liquid closing the gap considerably now, all the way up to 21 squad points. BTH, though, also doing a little bit of work here, making sure that they are knocking at the door. But for the rest of the teams, Nightmare, surprisingly, though, not really having a monstrous day so far, right? They've not really been a nightmare for the rest of the lobby. So it is all to be seen as we step into the next round, heading over into round number 4. But Team Liquid definitely leading with regards to the aggression, sitting on a very comfortable 14 kills so far. And that all now is going to come to the table as we step into our second Mandel Brick round for the day. This could, of course, be the round that ends the day and group stage right here.
Yeah, biggest question in my mind is talking about these operators, right? We don't see anybody that has used the Tempest already, which means the biggest question is, when are you using the Tempest? Are you using it in 4-5? Are you using it in 5-6? Are you using it in 4-6? Like, you get the idea. You can use it 2 out of the next 3 maps, and then on round 7, if we get there, of course, everything resets. This is the classic comp. Stinger, Luna, Tempest, it's been attempted 48 times. It's obviously meta. There's some slight variations that you will see, but for a team like Space Station Gaming, sometimes we'll see a team that has the Mandel Brick already not use a Tempest on round 4, namely because they want an advantage on 5 or 6, where some of the other teams won't have an advantage, but they've already got a brick so they can close it out. It's kind of that small little extra advantage that they could have to potentially win with the double brick, which Space Station Gaming just needs to do well today to secure second place, but I'm sure they'd like to have the ego boost of getting a win today and preventing some of these other teams from getting points. So looking at the spawns, we do see that Space Station Gaming and Liquids unfortunately got the T1 spawn on Tide Prison, which means they won't have it moving into Space City. We know about those T1 spawns in Space City, though. They are very deadly. Central Command may be quite as valuable as you're able to just sprint across that bridge. We don't get shot. So, DK, things about to get real mixy for us here on Space City. And before you take it away, I've got another giveaway, and I need chat to get giving you a lot of heads up this time. There it is. Delta tickets on the line. 1,000 Delta tickets. Type the code as fast as possible. You can redeem in-game or at the official website. You got to be one of the few. Only 15 of you will type this in fast enough to get your Delta tickets. So hopefully you're paying attention. And I tried to give you as much heads up as I could. So there's your code. Type it in. If it says invalid, you're a bit too slow, and you can try again another time. All right, DK, it's Space City time. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Here we go already, right out of the gate with Team Nation and of course the Nightmare getting themselves those T1 spawns. Team Liquid though, decent setup as we can see them right up here in Dormitory, keeping a very close look on that gate to see whether or not they can get an angle in onto Nation. So far so good. Nation make it through unscathed. Not even a single shot came in their direction. Really good play for them, and I'm pretty sure they are quite pleased with that. In the meantime, Nightmare looking across the way over onto its BTH, coming through with an angle and a fight that I've not yet seen happen over on Space City, but a good showing of aggression coming through from Nightmare.
Yeah, I like this spot a lot for Nightmare. Position over the top, keeping BTH at bay. There's a lot we can talk about with the map feed, in particular of where these players are coming in from, where they're going to, but of course everybody wants to play for the brick. You can see that on the left-hand side of your screen, everybody but Space Station Gaming and Liquids actually have elected to use their Tempest on this round. So Space Station Gaming doing a lot of what we expected, which is not go hyper-aggressive on this brick. They're not trying to kind of gamble, if you will, on playing for this brick, and therefore putting all their eggs in one basket and losing out on some things. So you don't even see them in gold there, bringing in some gold ammo because they've got the money to do that. But BTH in full gold and BTH investing the Tempest, you've got to assume that they're going to go for the brick. But it's Team Nadeshot that's able to move first. They've got the brick in hand.
Yeah, and now comes the chaos as they start to run, and they are going to try and maybe get themselves up into the alley. You can see Sled now just quickly trying to sneak his way through, but quite a few hits already just hitting right in behind them. But here we go. Placement about to come in, and it is going to be go time as, well, nobody really over on towards this western side of the map just yet. The whole entirety of ramp is open. So let's see who's going to be coming through with this. But here we are now, right? Team Liquid still up in Dormitory. They haven't moved all too much just yet. I'm not quite sure if they are going to try and maybe pressure up in towards Central Command, or if they're going for a little bit of an ulterior or alternative approach to get themselves closer to that brick.
Yeah, Nightmare, again, still in mid-map in the green, and Team Nadeshot just struck while the iron's hot. I use that phrase often, but you just got to take those moments where you have an advantage, you have a chance to make a big play, you just kind of send it. And when you do, Team Nadeshot, they scouted around, didn't see anybody in the area, and said, cool, sounds good, we'll take the brick first. And they had a great spot at Centrifuge. This is the classic play. This is probably, if the Museum Decoding Station is 70%, this is probably 65% of the Space City maps that we see. Decoding Station outside of Buoyancy and Centrifuge is one that it's very easy to hold, and it's one that teams love to go to, especially with Tempest, because you can reach the spawn and the Decoding Station with one Tempest ult. So it's an easy way to grab it quickly, but Team Nadeshot didn't even have to do that. Still plenty of time for everybody to approach the brick, but Space Station Gaming not even kind of concerned about playing for the brick right now. They're up at Employee Passage, looking for some kills potentially on the top side of this map.
Well, let's see how this one is going to play out here. Liquids, SSG, very comfortable up on towards those four northern positions. Unfortunately for SSG though, the decoding is not taking place all the way up there. It is instead right smack dab in the alley. Good spray through from Killzone, fighting quite a bit of damage quickly, getting that rocket ready. Out it goes, looking for even more, but unfortunately not getting his hands on it. Slip though is going to be traded on up as Equal rushes forward, just absolutely wiping down the side of Team Nation.
Smile in deep trouble right now. Equal Plays is on a tear. And unfortunately for Smile, and Slept, who's back on his feet after using the Tempest ult and self-reviving, Nightmare are feeling good. They brought in the big guns, Golds, Tempest, and of course, great comms from their IGL, and great shots from their fragger. Equal Plays finds another. Peek for a hair too long. He's going to punish you. Smile on the run. Gonna hide for a bit and see if he can ever reapproach this brick. Yes, they're currently decoding, but that will get stolen here shortly by Nightmare. Meg picks up a double from distance. I I know we care about the brick, but thank you, production, for showing me that. My goodness, Team Liquid lose 2 players to Meg's bow. You think he should use a gun now? Come on.
Oh, I mean, that is just absolute insanity coming through from Meg. Like I mentioned to you, I'd love to see the entire lobby try and use bows, at least just once, right? To get an idea as to how impressive this is coming through from Megs. But either which way, I mean, Liquids finding points, and as we know, they are in need of points. They need to try and secure whatever they can, and if they are able to secure more points than BTH, that is exactly the kind of pacing they need here.
Still plenty of time in this game. Nightmare in control of the decoding station and the mantle brick as of current. Again, funny enough, Nightmare, the one of very few teams that can actually catch Space Station Gaming on our leaderboard and potentially take second place in the overall standings behind Evil Geniuses, and therefore go straight to the finals, skipping survivor stages. So, yes, Space Station Gaming is feeling great because they have a mantle brick, but giving it away for free to another team, especially a team close to them on the leaderboard, maybe not a mistake, but just something to take note of. Oh, Meg connects with the Byron ult. A knockdown on Boy and a couple magnetic bombs over the top. Doesn't quite go far enough. Oh my goodness. A big mistake on main. I guess it did go far enough when you walk up and stand on top of one. Boy gets cut down with a magnetic bomb. Mendo here to try to even the tally. Does have an in hand that they were able to take out of that second round. Got it in Brockish, left with it, and brought it into Space City, but Team Liquid have been put into a blender brutally by Liquids.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even an understatement here. As you can see, there is so much chaos happening here for both these teams. Let's take a quick look back at that Meg hit. Boy out in the open. Shabam! First one lands. 201 meter hit. Absolute insanity coming through. A 125 in the run-up. What?
Jade of Eyes on the run. Team Liquid in a deep and utter blender. There's the full cleanup, but a chow! Jade of Eyes goes down. Liquid's down. Team Liquid down to 1, and Team Nate shot out as well. All in rapid succession like dominoes.
Ya 50 detik lagi tim NTMR apakah bisa nge-extract Mendel atau akan di retake sama SSG. Tinggal dikit lagi ini, bisa ini. Yo, 30 detik lagi yuk, bisa yuk. 30 detik llagi, 30 detik lagi. 30 detik lagi, yuk, 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 bisa, bisa, bisa. 30 detik lagi, 30 detik lagi, 30 detik lagi. 30 detik lagi. 30 detik lagi, ya ampun. Ya ampun dong. 13 11 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Ya ente dah. Ya tim SSG gila. Dikit lagi pada lo. PTH ikut campur, PTH ikut campur. Oke, PTH ikut campur.
A great play from Nightmare.
Ya.
Farmer Lucas
Gila.
sticking the decoding station through the smoke.
Gila,
didn't
gila,
see him,
gila,
but also didn't feel
gila.
confident enough to go for the steal.
Gigi tim
Nightmare grab another brick and
NTMR.
they're one step closer to going 3
Dapat
match wins
Mendel
in a row.
barusan NTMR.
And we're going at least one more map.
Yes, sir. So you asked the question earlier, do I think SSG is going to get it? I said no, and this is why, right? Nightmare stepping up, knocking on some doors, making some demands. They want to stay in, they want to try and make a run for it. And essentially the two teams in contention for second place now, having quite a bit of a go here at each other. But looking at the point situation as well, right? Nightmare not that far behind SSG. They literally need 2 kills to catch up to the position that that SSG rather is in right now. But we still have quite a few teams left here. Team Liquid and BTH also in a position to make a little bit of something happen here. Bendo now patrolling with the AWM in hand. Bro is ready for the action.
I mean, here's the frustrating part for Team Liquid. They ended up winning the fight against Liquids, but Meg put them in such a blender after 2 going down. You gotta remember, Team Liquid, they brought in full gold, an and the Tempest. This is a ridiculous amount of investment on a map where they couldn't even look at the Mantle Brick, let alone just take a breather for a moment. So Team Liquid gonna be frustrated. Solid score still, of course, but they're gonna play for kills here. They have to. They need to get something out of this investment. And then I think hopefully for them, I know they're thinking about also extracting.
I think that's going to be prime position for them to try and go for here. Ooh, nice SV coming through in the loot there. But unfortunately, it's not going to be picked up. It will be left in its bag. Team Liquid, in the meantime, slowly and cautiously making their way around the southern side of the map here. Mendo, I think, just aching for some targets to hit. Right, just got an AWM at the ready, looking to make the connections. The gold getting found. Oh, look at that!
Nice vital tank. 2.1 mil there for Mr. Farmer Lucas. Hey, listen, you already got the Mana Brick. Let's just get some more nice, valuable loot. Why not? Lucas has made the call to just run around and loot up and potentially get out of this map rather than go back for his teammates and try to get these reses, which I think frankly is the right play. He's probably going to lose his life doing that. Maybe could get a 1-for-1 trade. But watch out for Lucas. We'll see what he decides to do on the map, given the current situation and given the advantages they've already earned.
Yeah, missed shot coming through there from Mendo. That is 100k flying right past the head of BTH. Very fortunate miss, but this could be a nice bit of a back and forth here. As you can see, either side just primed up, looking for a position to work through. I mean, this could be absolutely golden if BTH was able to get their hands on Team Liquid's AWM. But of course, they would need to get that last few drops of ammo that we have. And BTH now just focused on getting themselves onto the latch, pull it down, and maybe that could allow them to successfully extract from here.
I have a feeling Lucas is probably going to try to sneak out of Black Chamber and work his way to Test Workshop to maybe get out of the map. Probably what I would do if I was in his situation. Especially because he has some reds on him now and, again, brought in gold gear. So, really would like to save that for another round. BTH, though, doing the same. So they just may pull these levers. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. BTH, I don't think they think they're last alive necessarily, but they want a way out. So they're going to open this up for Team Liquid. They're going to say, wow, okay, thank you very much. Remember, Team Liquid is investing a ton, so they're going to play this extraction. They'll be first to the extraction. And I've got a feeling somebody in the comms from Team Liquid said, oh, cool, thank you guys. But we'll see if they're able to win the fight, at the inevitable fight, in about 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, a lot can change in that period of time. Lucas is going to hope that nothing changes, because he wants to get out with all the value that he's been able to find so far. Mendo, though, is inching his way forward, trying to see if there's any potential angles that he could look to lock up here. And I think the big takeaway for either of these teams is, of course, just to make sure that they can get every little bit of value out of this. Because at the end of the day, it is still a race for the overall total score, right? Nightmare, of course, now exactly on par with SSG. Both teams sitting on 18 points either which way. So there's a big opportunity here for Lucas. If he can get out of this round successfully, that is really going to help them contest SSG to take the potential win for today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There could potentially be tiebreakers that are important as well, right? Like, if Manalbrick somehow end up being tied and we go all the way to Game 7, you need to be able to win to get those extra points. There's still an opportunity for Nightmare to pass Space Station Gaming on the overall group stage leaderboards. There's tiebreakers there, kills, squad points. Still a lot to play for here, even if it doesn't feel like it. So, all the team's going to play cautious, and all the team's going to go play for this extraction. So now, if you're Farmer Lucas, you have a tough choice. You're in Black Chamber. You don't really feel like you can leave, probably, without selling your position. You still could go Test Workshop, but to do that, you're going to have to go right past this extraction point, and you know there's going to be teams there. So instead, probably the play is twofold. One, go for a couple kills, sell your body for 800K plus if you can get a couple, and spoil a couple extractions, which is maybe worth you losing your life to make sure other people also go down, considering their position on the leaderboard. Secondly, you play to share the extraction. He's running Stinger, could smoke and run in. We know he's good at timing. Just try to sprint in at the last second. Won't be able to crawl because he's the only player left alive on his team, but if he can get there just in the right time and not go down in that transition, chance he could just share it and get out as well. So I'm expecting the latter from Lucas, but if the opportunity presents itself for a kill, I don't know if he has the trigger discipline for it or not. We'll see.
It's all just a matter of waiting. Good positioning, though. Absolutely on the point. Mendo, though, quickly with the reposition. Ooh, fires his final hit. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much with that. Now having to switch over to the ASL to see can the value be squeezed out with that. Hotzik trying relentlessly to land the shots, but it's going to be a full set either which way. Team Liquid and BPH now primed and ready. Up comes the full set here from Mendo, but he's about to get backstabbed.
No.
Down he goes. Quick trade up here by Car. The BPH now very battered. They could still be an opportunity for steal here from Team Liquid. Ooh, Lucas.
Lucas says, trigger discipline is for the birds, but I've got a free kill on Team Liquid right in my sights. Boy down. And Mendo was on Timpasult when he went down, so he's back up onto his feet. But of course, we're still playing for the extraction. 13 seconds on the extraction, 10 and counting. You got to make a move here, BTH. You got to get to the extraction point if you can. It may be shared. Mendo's on it. 2 seconds. No, you're too late, BTH. And you're going to go down. You won't be killed. You won't get fooled. So those won't get credited to Team Liquid. But BTH got concerned, confused, or just were taking their sweet time and are too late for the extraction. And now it is Farmer Lucas in a 1v2 against a beaten and battered BTH. And Lucas, I think, is staring at this dead body. He knows Toot's going to come back for it. He may get a freebie here in the last 56 seconds. And maybe actually with 56 seconds left, not going to come back for it. With the game clock here, DK. Toot's going to take that extraction point. Nice job.
Yeah, there we go. Does seem like Toot is going to be able to get a little bit of value out of this round here. And I mean, as we know, it is going to be very, very important for BTH to secure as many points as they can, to be as high up on those rankings as they possibly can. And with the final few moments alive here, there's only so much one can do. Lucas, though, the last player standing in the round, and I don't think he knows that.
Well, he might, with game clock being what it may. He's just going to stack his safe box with anything he can get his hands on. 10 seconds. Toots out of the lobby. One of the few to make it out. Team Liquid getting both out, which, again, I keep saying this, but it's a really important note. Team Liquid brought in all golds. They get 2 players out. They will keep some of their golds. That's a big win for Team Liquid considering everything they went through. But nice job there from Farmer Lucas to stay on the map, get an extra kill, and get some extra value for his team, even though they already got a ton of value. Deathwing, Farmer Lucas, equal plays. These guys have been deadly recently, and they find their way to another brick to put them right there up with SSG. It's going to be very close between the two in terms of total points, first or second, but still more to be played, more bricks to be found. We'll see who ends up potentially taking the win in the next map, or if we go a couple more.
Yes, sir. Got them all in the barrel. And speaking about the barrel, the one that was staring down at the most, at least with regards to those kills, it's going to be the side here of Nightmare. 6 kills in the bag, nearly 1,400 damage, 1.1 million in assets. And on top of that, they get the decode as well. Beautiful mantle brick in the bag. Team Liquid coming in close behind them, though. 1.8 million in value, managing to squeeze 2 players out of this. And of course, still backing up those 5 kills. So a very decent show forward, but Team Nature, the only team not being able to get any points here because, unfortunately for them, no kills went their way.
Yeah, and Team Nature, they went for it, right? They went for broke, they went for the classic, grab the brick immediately and immediately plant it and hope nobody gets there in time. Unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened. So Team Nature goes down early, Nightmare get control of the area, and Space Station Gaming couldn't quite get in and take it away from them. So Nightmare get credited the brick. We see a couple players stacking up the top of these leaderboards. Mindo was able to find a couple assists, BTH finding a couple with the kills that they were able to find, but Team Liquid did a decent job of preventing some loss of loot, but it was Nightmare as the top team. We do see to get out through Test Workshop though, nice wherewithal to recognize that with enough game clock left to get out, 1.7 mil he's able to extract with, but equal plays is going to be around 4 MVP.
Yeah, there we go. There we have it. Nightmares equal plays bring it all to the forefront here, taking that MVP award with him indeed. But you know what, Goj, this is where things get interesting because we're going to be seeing it very soon where these teams essentially find themselves in a bit of an uncomfortable position. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's going to come down to a lot of heat and a lot of spice. And yeah, there's 4 teams fighting for 2 very important things right here. So, woo, I cannot wait for the next round.
I can't wait for it either because I actually have no idea what's about to happen. You've got to remember our group stage leaderboard. Space Station Gaming is in 2nd place overall, and Nightmare's a team that could potentially catch them, but to do so, Space Station Gaming can't get 2nd. I wonder if Nightmare's not going to play for this next brick. They need somebody else to try to pass Space Station, folks. I'm getting into some deep lore. I'm getting into some hypotheticals. We got to wait and find out, folks. Space Station maybe could win it here. Nightmare maybe could win it here, or we could go a little bit longer. You're not going to want to miss it. Welcome back to the Delta Force Rise series. We got a lot going on here, okay? We just wrapped up what was a riveting Space City map. It's one of my favorite maps for good reason. It was a great Mantle Brick round, and Nightmare just picked up the brick, able to stop everybody else from staying. Space Station Gaming could get the win
Oh,
here. Let's take a look at the
SSG
overall
1
leaderboard. We knew it was going to be close at the top, and
12
it's within
kill
1 point.
point,
Team Liquid with the most squad
NTMR,
points, but of course 2 teams
1
with
manual
bricks.
clip, 9 kill point,
Yeah,
tim
and
Liquid
that
18 kill
is
point.
gonna be quite a sweaty day. But of course, we are heading into our second Space City. This is where we could see a bit of a change. Maybe Team Liquid, BTH, Liquids, or even Team Nate Shot looking to get their hands on that Mantle Brick. Whichever
sure they're thinking a lot like us and figuring out those points. And I'm just excited to see what the gameplay will look like moving into the next round, because they also need to be aware
Sekarang
that
lanjut
they're
Space
giving
City
away a
lagi.
brick for free.
Round 5.
Really make sure it's not Space Station Gaming, or all that plan goes out the window. So fun look here, of course, spawns, and then operators. And operators, the most important piece of the puzzle, because we now know Space Station Gaming, Liquids both did not use a Tempest in the last round, and therefore will be using a Tempest in the next two. We're banking on the fact that we're not going to end in 5, we're going to end in 6, and therefore they will have an advantage. Here's our classic operator comp. It's up to 52 now, which is a ridiculous number. Only 13% extraction rate, but that's because people like to stay on the map and go for those bricks. And everybody uses them, and not everybody can survive. You all know how math works. Tempest, the most popular operator for good reason, but Luna, nearly the same, because of how much value Luna brings in some of these engagements on Space City as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one indeed, as we will be moving up. Of course, we know it's not going to be Team Nadeshot or Nightmare getting their hands on that Team 1 spawn, so it could swing to anybody else at this point. But based on what we've seen so far, right, the teams getting their
round
T1
3.
spawns, at least in the previous Space City, had pretty good success when it came to getting that Mandel break to count in their favor. So it's all going to be down to who gets there first and who holds out the longest.
Well, here we go. A lot of hypotheticals, but you know what's not a hypothetical is that Season 2 is coming soon. Registration opens on August 10th, folks. Go get involved in the Delta Force Rise Series. This could be you on main stage. I could be casting over you with DK right now, trying to get your first Mantle Brick, or maybe your last. Fun stuff happening in Season 2. You're not going to want to miss it. But let's get into Space City. Round 5 as we wrap up our group stages. Will it end here, or will we go at least another game?
Well, one of the teams that are in dire need of a Mandel break
Okay.
is going to be
Next
blessed with the
point
position
unlocked.
here of T1
Next
Sport. As you
point
can see,
unlocked,
SSG, the first one to push
SSG.
through that West Gate. Nightmare
Udah
trying
poin
everything
sama.
they can to stop them.
Oh.
But unfortunately, it's not working out for
udah
Nightmare
less than
just
sama
yet.
sih.
Meanwhile, Fulson is heading forward. BTH though coming through that employee passage number 2 as they start to make their way in. Team Liquid about to run into BTH, so there could be a sweaty engagement right off the bat.
Oh no. Mendo, my goat, gets cut down by an NPC after taking a bunch of damage. That soldier goes crazy, but too easy. Actually catches the wrong end of Boy's gun. So a lot of exchanging of blows. And a quick look at the map feed told a decent bit of the story, but it is non-stop action. Folks not playing slow this time around, and Team Nadeshot
Oke,
desperately need to put
SSG
points on
udah
the board.
satu
They're trying to do
out,
that,
anjir.
going through Team Liquids,
Ya,
or
Alazet-
Liquids themselves,
Alazet,
and Liquids are
anu,
fully eliminated.
pulang lobby.
Team Liquid down to a duo because of the NPC.
Gila,
Liquids
ya.
out. Team Nadeshot,
Ini
they do strike first. Let's see if they
tim
can keep up that pace.
SSG ada yang
Well, this is
Knock,
good base going
boy.
through here for Nate Shot. I mean, this is
Gimana ya?
exactly the kind of boost they need to
gimana
get
ya
to that
SSG gimana
momentum.
ya?
But of course, it is now down to a
Oh,
waiting game
to
to see
DZ,
who's going to be
to
the
DZ.
first one to
SSG
venture
to
out and
DZ.
try to get their hands
Yang oke.
on that Mandel
Bebas
break.
lagi
Nobody
ya kan?
really being all too close to it. Space station though, right here on the edges. You can see up on that mini map, just trying to kind of figure out if it's going to be worth the risk to push on forward. And I mean, Killzone just weighing up the options. Now is going to be the rest of lobby looking to move into position. Up comes Toot. Ooh, bumps a few shots across the way. Killzone quickly dropping down. But you got to watch out that you don't waste that ult moving in for the Vandal break.
Yeah, quick hits here. Killzone is going to pop ult and go for the Mantle Brick with gold armor. Space Station Gaming taking no chances. Tempest invested, of course, because they had it. They saved it. All gold, everything for Space Station Gaming. They've got a nice advantage, and they're going to start this decoding station at the Tried and True Classic. Other quick
Oke,
notes. Look at
aman.
Nightmare. They're
Oke,
expecting this to
SSG.
go to another map. They want this to go to another map. They are not investing their Tempest here on round 5. I think they know the same plan,
Mana nih
same
SSG?
strategy of trying
Kiri
to take
ada
out Space Station
tim
Gaming that we do.
NTMR ini.
So big hits there on the operator comps. Team Nadeshot the same. They're thinking we need to save Tempest for round 6. It's going to go another. So we'll see what these two teams can do without a Tempest, while Space Station Gaming currently has control of the brick at the decoding station. Who knows it's them, and if you do, you better start moving, because this game will be over if somebody doesn't do something about it.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure riding on everybody's shoulders at this point. You're going to have to do whatever it is that they can think of
Oke,
to
oke.
secure their
Dikat,
outcomes here. But for the time
dikat udah
being,
didikat ha?
we do find ourselves in
Udah
a bit
3
of a
menit
standoff here.
waktu kita
SSG,
di
decent position. good possession as well coming through here for them. Let's see if anybody else is going to try and step it up. But a quick look back at what Chris did here. Quite a few shots just flying in, and unfortunately for him, though, quickly getting put right on down. I like the reactiveness that we see from the teams here.
Yeah, I mean, Teenage just put down all of Liquids there, so it's a good look back on what this team's capable of. But they still have to get really active. I like the wager that they did of saving their Tempest for the next round. It's going to give them a big opportunity to potentially grab that next brick, but they've got to get a piece of this puzzle. They've got to get over here and get into this party to make things difficult for Space Station Gaming. Nobody knows. They took that out a while ago. There's not like some big beep that goes off, a big opportunity to say, hey, guess what? It's Space Station Gaming
dapat
decoding.
1 kill.
And what we do see in the kill feed is that Team Liquid's hot stick does get cut down, and that is not a Tempest. Team Liquid down a player. Player gets fooled as well. And unfortunately, Boy falls as well up on height. Space Station Gaming getting really aggressive to try to wipe Team Liquid, but Mindo is able to knock kills all back. He popped ult. They'll be able to self-provide back up. Mindo holding his own for now.
All while this is happening, we still see that brick getting closer and closer to being decoded, but SSG now down to a solo. So much pressure is being applied onto them. Team Liquid absolutely on the money. Good angles, good showing of aggression.
Oke,
Spell
satu
gonna try
kill
and creep up
guys,
the side
gitu
here,
loh
gets the
maksudku
night, this guy
anjir.
spots him out. And again, it is
Gitu
going to be
loh.
possessional fighting coming through for Ramp itself. Crips slept, also inching their way on forward. Not getting an exact position on it just yet, but they are able to rescue their teammate. The smoke coming in clutch, but Sky's capitalizing on that opportunity and quickly falling back
Oke,
into
nice
safety.
itu SSG anjir, nice
Skies
banget.
is shooting nukes right now. Nightmare gonna double chow this likely if they have an understanding that this is Skies, which I'm not sure they 100% do. Toxic Ult's gonna pop, and they're gonna full send it. Great timing from
Ya,
Nightmare.
interrupt dong.
A perfect
Ya,
call, likely from their
enteng.
IGL. Lucas with the shots
Gila,
over the
kita
board
dalo.
as well. Space Station Gaming will not close out the match here. They get swarmed by too many. Nightmare push at the perfect time. They hear the shots up ahead, up above. SSG get really aggressive trying to take down Team Liquid, and it ends up biting them in the butt because Nightmare hear the shots and they're able to third party it. Great play from Nightmare. And you can see Nightmare has not gone for the steal. They're inside Centrifuge. They know what's going on, and unfortunately for Team Nadeshot, they can't quite figure out where everybody's at because BTH is now in the back. Chris in deep trouble, rushing through the smoke to try to stay alive. A Smile, unfortunately, is full out. Team Nadeshot in a deep blender. It's going to come down to Slept. He's able to get one, but he's going to have to get three. And right now, it's not looking like that's going to happen as one is extremely close. Down goes Team
Ya,
Nadeshot yet
ente, Cok.
again.
SSG
Even though they got a
anjir.
team wipe, they get wiped
Ente
themselves.
Gejal. Tapi
It's Team
kayak
Liquid or it's BTH going to be going for this brick. Look at what Nightmare's doing. Just sitting in Centrifuge, waiting for somebody to take it.
Yeah, they are just casually sitting back and relaxing. It does seem like they want to try and play the long game here. And I mean, a great opportunity for Team Liquid or BTH to get their hands on it. I think for BTH, it is going to be of the utmost importance to try and be the team that secures the Mandel brick here. Because remember, they are still playing for points. They are playing to get themselves out of the cut down, right? They want to stay in the round. They want to stay in the next phase. The only way to do that is to have sufficient points to make sure that they can catch up to where MW ended up yesterday. And with this kind of pacing, this could set them up beautifully for that.
Look at this play from Mindo. This was such a big move. Just fully aggressive. Tempest ult pop. And we actually saw two with great trigger discipline as well to not shoot Mindo and give away his position. Unfortunately, his position's now given away, but he knew that if he knocked Mindo, he was on ult. He was just going to go back and heal up. And two would have no advantage, so saves his bullets, but catches the wrong innocent shots from the deep side here. Hot
Ayo,
stick shooting
Nightmare.
over the
Di
balance.
anu, Cok, di
Team Liquid
decode.
and BTH content on fighting each other and not playing for the brick, which means Nightmare will sit in place and wait. And we will stick with this fight.
I mean, this is a pretty good play going through for either which side. Team Liquid, though, I mean, if they get the brick in hand, that is going to be the golden play for them, as they would be sitting atop the board at 29 points already secured. BDH now down to a solo. The last member getting absolutely battered. As you can see, Mendar and the rest of the team just absolutely relentless, just doubling down on taken out of this
9
lobby.
menit lagi.
But again, Team Liquid, beautiful setup here.
Mana ini cok tim
After a while,
hijau
if
cok?
they don't find Lord
Ini
Jago,
hijau,
they
diri
could
dikot dong.
definitely look
Masa
to
nggak
turn
diri
around
dikot
and go
anjir?
back to that mantle break.
Yeah, they could. I'm starting to get a feeling that Team Liquid want their kills.
Kelamaan
$50 a kill.
anjir.
That's some nice
Wah,
incentives
set
to go for
up
kills
ini.
rather than brick when you're in a position on our group stage leaderboard where you can't really get knocked out of mid-pack. You're assuredly going to be playing in both days, Friday, Saturday, and the only way for you to get second would be to double brick, get 10 points, and Space Station Gaming to somehow get 2 points. Very unlikely with Space Station Gaming with the brick. So Team Liquid, they're hunting for kills. They may take the brick eventually, which it may look like they are doing now, thinking they may be the last team on the board, but they were much more interested in going for those kills, which, hey, I respect it. Now they've got it.
Well, I mean, the only way for Space Station to get 2 points is if they sit where Liquids are right now. That's
Yep.
the only way it's going to happen. And so in order for that to happen, Team Liquid and BTH both need to get their hands on a brick as well. So, yeah, there's still a lot that could theoretically happen over here. So let's see if that is going to be the play. But, I mean, if you were SSG, the next round, you're going to have to come back with an absolute vengeance if you want to secure that second place finish.
Oke. Lihat. Aduh.
Here's the
Ya,
weird part.
ente dong.
Team Liquid
Ya.
are gonna full send a
Gila,
death ball
ente
through
anjing.
Nightmare. Nightmare see bodies and they shoot back. That is a fight.
versus them. We had the
brick. Let's listen.
TL
By the
tim
way,
Liquid GG.
What?
Dave, let's hold the BKH bodies, okay?
I shipped one. I couldn't grab the SKS.
I shipped the other guy.
It's fine. Just don't let this guy res because we want to play for extract here. A good call. Wish I would have caught just a bit before what they were talking about with Nightmare, saying they've seen that plan before. But it's a weird one because if Nightmare, well, let's take a look back on it. Big fight here. Everybody shooting their guns, everybody playing for the win. But it is Team Liquid that are able to win this engagement. Full send, full tilt, joystick forward, if you will, pedal to the metal. You all know the idioms. Team Liquid. They're going to get this brick assuredly, and they have the most total score, so they will be at the top of our leaderboard. There's no question about it.
Well, I mean, 35 points is going to make it quite challenging for anybody to catch up to them. So I think the only way to beat Team Liquid after this is going to have to be a double break by somebody else, right? If they want to steal the show here. And of course, one team, as we've already discussed, is going to be in dire need of that double break. In fact, two teams, Nightmare and SSG, right? This is all going to come down to possession and position here to see where they'll end up come the final round of the day. And by the look of it, we are definitely going into round 6. We'll see what the lobby
Okay.
decides once we make our
Oh,
way
nggak
into
pulang-pulang
there.
ini tim BTH ini nggak pulang-pulang ini.
We're
Kenapa
just
ini?
going to copy the mana brick to get some extra cash.
Pulang kan.
Those don't do much. BTH,
GG.
not interested in trying to 1v3, is just going to get out via Test Workshop and save some of that loot. Fair enough, my friend. Points are valuable. You gotta remember, BTH on a group stage leaderboard, they don't need a win to pass the team ahead of them. Liquids is only at 3 points, they're at 2 points. MW, who's holding the line on potentially being able to play next weekend, is only at 6 points. So BTH need to pick up 4 points today and win the tiebreaker, or 5 points today to pass MW and therefore be able to play next weekend.
I mean, some pretty high stakes, right? Quite a bit of pressure and a whole lot of math, right? So if anybody ever told you that math is not worth it, it is. You're gonna use it a lot, and sometimes you get some really smart people that know numbers exceptionally well. Speaking of, Team Liquid just getting themselves prepped up, primed and ready to go. They now have the mantle brick under their control, getting that next phase unlocked. They got about 4 minutes, and they just barely managed to get that extraction activated.
the extraction. Got about 30, 45 seconds or so spread between the two, so all good there. And now they're gonna roll around the map and see what loot they can find. Get out, get the brick, get some kills,
Gila,
Team Liquid.
gila.
A banger map.
Wah, kaya dong ini dong tim Liquid ya, Tel. Kaya banget anjir, dapat kill banyak.
Definitely been a very exciting one. A whole bunch of different tactics being utilized by our squads here, trying to get themselves into a slightly more favorable position. But as we know, at the end of the day, all will be revealed, and we'll see exactly how much these teams have been able to accomplish. Decent loot stage coming through here now, as everybody's just going to make sure they can get their hands on every little bit of value before stepping out. So far for Team Liquid, they are all the way up to 5.4 million. Just need a little bit more to hit that 6 million mark. That is going to buy them additional points as well. Currently sitting on 38 in total so far if they would leave right this minute. So a very decent shopping session here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid dropped a banger map, and like we said, especially getting out of the map. Let's take a look back on some of the engagements here, and this is where Mindo started his reign of terror on this map. Able to find one, finds the second. Show me the third. No, we know Lord Jocko is going to get out of the map, but two certainly frustrated about that one. Some missed comms, and then they just deathball right through. They get the early knock. They got more guns. They got more ammo. You all know the drill. Once you get the first
Nice.
engagement, they come
Yeah,
swinging in and catch
and
Nightmare
Team Liquid.
potentially by surprise. A nice play to get the brick and clean everybody else up. That is a crazy amount of points. Now, this is a weird, interesting thing that we'll talk about for about 2 minutes here. I know chat's already been lit up about it for a while. There is, of course, a stream delay for competitive integrity, so do your thing over there. But just so everybody's on the same page, it's an interesting play because Nightmare can't take the brick. If they take the brick, and they win with that brick, they will not pass Space Station Gaming, and there's really no reward for getting third rather than fourth, for instance, right? You're trying to get top two. So they can't take the brick. They just got to prevent Space Station Gaming from not getting it, and that's exactly what they do. But also, Team Liquid getting this brick and getting a ridiculous amount of score, also not ideal for them.
Tim Liquid ya.
And ultimately, they
Karena
need to
ada
double
orang
brick
lagi, boy,
regardless.
kayaknya,
So,
boy.
neither here nor there to some degree. But at the same time, Team Liquid having
Ini
a brick,
mau gali ya?
both Nightmare and Team
Oh, ada
Liquid
galian ya di sini ya.
both need to win. They need 10 points. And they need Space Station Gaming to get very few. So now it's this weird cat and mouse game where Team Liquid really doesn't want to get the next brick yet. They need another team to get a brick to push Space Station Gaming further down. Nightmare the same. But if somebody's decoding a brick, they need to prevent it from being decoded if they figure out who it is. This is going to be a weird one, folks. Just buckle up for what's happening next. We'll let the players all figure it out, but just for the way the math works and the way our group stage leaderboard's at, this may get a little weird in the last two maps.
Yep. I'm expecting it to get quite a bit
Pero,
weird. See
pero,
that the
¿por
math
qué
is
no?
becoming
¿Por qué no?
increasingly more challenging to kind of, get a good wrap on, because there's just so much that we need to see happen. What the team's priority is, right? So,
Nice.
very
Gila,
difficult
Tim Liquid.
decisions
Kayak
yet
Tim
to be
Liquid
made,
anjir.
but we are going to be looking at the final few moments there as we do see the final extraction secured. That is going to be Team Liquid out with almost 10 million in profits secured in this round alone. Absolute insanity. What a loot session that was.
You can see Mindo aggressively talking to his team about plans for the future, the current state of the game. Here's the good news. If you're a Space Station Gaming fan,
Posisi
things are
pertama
quite
harusnya Tim
easy.
Liquid, kedua
just go get your
kedua
win and win your
NTMR,
ones.
lalu
If Space Station
lalu
Gaming
baru
are able to get a brick
SSG
here
ya.
and win it, they of course will secure second place overall in the group stage, no questions asked. Team Liquid are going to have something to say about that. 6 kills on the map with a full extraction and looted of bodies. 10 million in
No.
assets they're able to
No.
take out, and
No.
the Mandel brick. A big game for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that is going to help you quite a bit with feeling super confident coming into the next round itself. 6 kills in the bag. Team H-Shot sitting on 3, Nightmare on 3, BTH on 3 as well. But the only team not walking away with any kills in this round or any value is going to be Liquids, as they were wiped out very early on trickles down as we move into our top killers.
Mendo.
Mendo coming through, sitting with a very comfortable 3 under his name. Lucas and Hotsing also coming in hot with 2 apiece. But Mendo
Damage juga
has 800
Mendo.
damage on the dot. So a very, very strong finish coming through from them. Killzol and Equal also poking and prodding at a few of the opponents there. Equal again on the top of the board here with the assist as well.
Yep, a great job there of getting a couple assists back and forth, but we all knew what this was going to say. Top assets, it's going to be all Team Liquid, and they've got plenty of assets between the 3 of them, nearly perfectly split for a total of 10 million. Nice job there. Mendo does find his way to match MVP, or sorry, round MVP here in round 5. 3 kills, plenty of damage and assists, and a couple mils. So great job there for Mendo and Team Liquid again, picking up the biggest map of the day. Biggest map of the round, certainly, and one of the biggest maps of the day with the Mantle Brick in tow. So Team Liquid joined the ranks of Space Station Gaming and Nightmare at the top of the leaderboard. Mathematicians out there in our group stage leaderboard are going to get, they're going to be crunching the numbers, I'll say that, okay? But here in the match, it's quite easy to follow. 3 teams with a brick, 3 teams without. 50-50 coin flip on whether or not we're going to play just one more game or maybe 2. Folks, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to get weird. It's going to get wacky. And it's going to be a ton of fun. Potentially the last map of the group stages here with the Americas region. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Ya entengnya tim SSG boy. Ini baru ya habis ini match point buat 3 tim ya. Tiga minggu siapa mereka sih?
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise series. We just wrapped up map 5 here on Space City. It's Americas, and this region is wild. Our group stage leaderboard is extremely tight, and it's giving room for some interesting plays where some teams don't quite want to close out this match yet. We'll just
39
spread it out a little
poin
bit
aja.
longer
24
and see if a
poin
couple
kill
teams will fall
supply
from the
point.
top
Supply
of
point ini
that
apa ya?
leaderboard a little
Supply
bit
point
more. But
berarti
Team Liquid find their way to the
dari
top of the leaderboard by a giant
alloy.
margin here.
Dari
TK
alloy.
at 39 total squad points, nearly double anybody else.
Yep, I mean, that is going to bode quite well for them, especially seeing that they have double the kills of the team right behind them. But for SSG, this next round is going to be important, right? If they want to secure and lock their place in, they're going to have to double break
Yeah, that's exactly right. Right now, it's a 50-50 chance we're playing 2 or 1 more maps. Space Station Gaming try to close things out as soon as possible. We'll see what they're able to do, but as we look forward in the next 2 maps or potentially the next one, reminder, this is map 6. So with that in mind, our operator pool is going to shrink dramatically. This is the last time that the operator pool will be brought down to the bare minimum, or at least it feels that way. Only a couple teams have left a Tempest for this last round, and I think that'll be a big boon in a wild and wacky Space City map.
Well, here we go, right? It's going to be a very, very interesting one, especially to see what that final choice is going to be. But for the last time here in group stage, the teams need to make the decision as to who they want to play. And as we can see, quite a few Tempests
Okay.
have been burnt, and quite a few
Run.
selectors across the board in general
Run
already
lima.
been used up. So it's all going to come down to what they can make
Run
happen with the limited options they have available to themselves here.
Yeah, couple teams, 4 teams to be certain, know that this is going to be a long day, and so they save their Tempest for this moment to find that advantage and be able to utilize it here. We keep ticking up with the same operator comp because it is the meta, but this time teams have probably used most of these, so you probably won't see everybody running Tempest, and Luna, and Stinger all together, but some combination of 2 or 3 of those together, and then maybe a Luru or one of their other favorite operators that they could use on the map to replace one that is already gone. Let's talk spawns really quick. We know tier 1 spawns are nice. You can get to the middle of the map very quickly. I would also argue that the tier 2 spawn up at Central Command Building is one of the best. You can get down just as fast as the other tier 1 spawns if you're just kind of out in the open while you do that. If anybody wants to turn towards Central Command, those are the 3 spawns I'm looking at if I want a brick and I want it quickly. To take control of the first mantle brick and the first spawn means you get to choose where it gets decoded. It could play towards your playstyle, your operator comp, whatever you've got. Folks, are you loving the action? Are you loving the tension? I can cut the tension with a knife in the air. It's your time to get involved in Season 2. Registration opens on August 10th. Make sure you drop a follow on all major socials to stay up to date so you don't miss your chance to compete in the brand new season of the Delta Force Rise
Nah,
series.
Marvin, nah,
Wrapping
nah,
up
nah.
the group stages here right now. The last show before we get into Championship Sunday, and of course our Survivor stages on Friday and Saturday next weekend. Season 1 almost done, Season 2 right around the corner, all wrapping up by the end of the year. It's gonna be a ton of fun, but I'm excited about more Space City. DK, let's see what happens.
Yep, here we go. It is going to be a full set going in across the board. Team Nation and Liquids having a go at those T1 spawns. You can see Team Liquid though trying to pressure Liquids as they are trying to push through that west gate. Will they be allowed entry or will they get denied? Meanwhile, BTH trying everything they can, rushing across the way, but they are getting absolutely battered and bruised by the side of Team Liquid.
Battered and bruised is right. Now, at least I'm glad I made the clarifying statement and didn't just hype up this spawn, right? I was hyping it up and I was saying, but if you get shot at, well, there's a problem. Well, hey, there you go. BTH gets battered, bruised, and obliterated as Killsall comes in, and Lord Jacko is just trying to run away at this point and get out of the line of sight between 2 different teams. That bridge can be deadly as well. And of course, we have to pay attention to BTH because they're on a totally different bubble than what we've been talking about. They're on the bottom side bubble. They're trying to make it to next week. Bottom 2 teams in our group stages get eliminated, and BTH currently could be one of those. So, Lord Jacko as a solo in map 6 is bad news, and Killsall is just going to jump up on the wall and unfortunately send him straight back to the lobby. BTH first out.
Ya, loh,
Yeah,
udah ada
now
yang
they go.
wipe out anjir.
The worst position for them to be
Tim
in,
BTH
but
udah
they're
wipe
gonna
out,
have
cok,
to
cepet banget.
hope that there is another round
Beka.
for them, right? If they want to have
Oke, siapa
that
yang
run, that
mau
push on up,
ngambil?
they're gonna have to try and climb quite a bit more. In the meantime, though, we're waiting to see who's gonna be the first team to pick up the brick. The brick just sitting there, looking pretty, while the teams are staring at each other. You can see Hotsick trying to see if he can spot out that play. Sky's just keeping the position pretty tight on the bridge. But Team Liquid not going to overcommit to that just yet. Meanwhile, it is going to be Meg going for that first hand. Unfortunately, getting denied as Nightmare comes sneaking on through.
Yeah, nice job there from Smile to also prevent equal. Oftentimes, when a player is able to prevent the first player to the brick, they usually grab it on the second chance. And so Smile helps out. Equal Place takes one member of Liquids down and puts them on a reset. And then Smile does a lot of the same. The teams that didn't have a Tempest were just BTH and Team Liquid. BTH now out of this lobby, so
Siapa ini
4 out of
yang
5 of our
Oke,
teams
yang mau
still
ngambil
have that
duluan siapa ini?
Tempest. We'll be waiting for some of those cooldowns here before going for that brick again. And the Space Station Gaming are going to slow roll into this as well.
Well, sometimes slow is all you need. But
Sila, ada yang mau
you
ambil
can't
lah.
afford too much of a slow pace.
Oke, SSC udah
Time
masuk.
being, nobody having had the opportunity to pick up the brick just yet. A lot of players coming real close to that. But one team paying the ultimate price as they got swept on out of here. J-Device also trying to kind of find the approach. A lot of peeking, a lot of sneaking. But one team will have to lay their hands on that brick and get the ball rolling. I mean, Team Nadeshot or Liquids could both benefit from getting their hands on
Oke, LSF
Vandal
udah
brick at
mulai
this
nih.
point.
LSF
Team
udah mulai
Liquid,
mau ngambil kan?
SSG, and of course Nightmare are going to try and deny all of those bricks being picked up and decoded if it's not them getting the job done here. But Team Liquid are up to
Masih
41
anu,
points
masih belum
again, putting on
diambil nih.
quite a phenomenal score.
Yeah, 100%. The score's important for
Apakah ini
tiebreakers as
lanjut ke
well, potentially on a
round
group stage
7 atau
leaderboard.
cuma round
How
6
many
doang?
times you tie, like, there's so much to talk about. But for now, let's focus in on this match. Teams being a bit more timid to play for this brick after a couple people get denied. Things we do know, Space Station Gaming desperately want this brick and desperately want to close things out right here, right now. Don't leave anything up to chance. Liquids and BTH would have liked the same. Unfortunately, BTH is in the lobby, so... And Team Nadeshot even in a potential position where they'd like to move up this leaderboard. If they score 0 points and a couple things go differently, they're going to stay in that 9th, 10th position and have to skip Friday, therefore having one less chance to make it to the finals. Every team has something on the line right now. I told you today was going to be a wild one, and I keep using that term because it's just playing a bit different than other matches for that very reason. Everybody has a burden of responsibility. Everybody has something to play for right now, and they all have different win conditions.
Oke, kita lihat. Oke, sudah di tapping sama
Nice
tim
hits
Liquid
coming
ke
through
tim
from one
TN.
Trying to apply a little bit of pressure there onto Team Nadeshot as Smart is really close to that Vandal brick. In fact, he's probably the closest player that we have all across the board here. But with just over 5 minutes already ticking down, something needs to happen very soon. It'd be very odd if we get a no brick round, right? We've already seen that happen
Yeah.
once or twice throughout the entirety of the Rise series. For that to happen on the very last day, that is going to be a wild one. But let's see how this one goes. As SSG though slowly tries to improve their overall positioning, going for a little bit of loot while waiting to see what happens to that Vandal brick.
I'm going to be honest. If we somehow get a no brick round, that's going to make that math even more complicated. Because then you start thinking about people winning without double bricks, which means you could get 9 points, for instance. Okay. And of course, we have to talk about tiebreakers if they come up. Alrighty, folks. I'm loving the action. Or the potential for the
Okay.
action. We know J-Devise and Liquids desperately want this brick in Space Station Gaming. Those are probably the two teams that'll move first. Potentially Team Nadeshot. For now, you can see them all from the distance. Nightmare is just lying in wait. They're playing over at Test Workshop. They're playing bridge area over by the extraction. And they're just going to stay patient over there. There's no reason to get really aggressive right now. We know their WinCon, Team Liquid doing a lot of the same. They're on the north side of the map. They're at Central Command. So the two teams that can't close it out here, because they know Space Station Gaming will earn enough points to get second place overall and therefore make it straight to that finals day on Sunday, are holding the north and south side of the map. Everybody that wants the brick and needs the
Okay.
brick is in Central. This is a 4-team battle for now.
It almost feels like you need to be a mathematician to understand what's happening right here. But it is going to be Meg, the first one to pick up the brick. And here we Liquids though, they could really benefit off of getting one of these Vandal bricks secured for themselves. Let's see, because as we know, right, they are still in contention with BTH, playing for a seat in the survival stage
Oke,
itself. But there we go,
masih ada
brick
yang
is
belum ambil
down.
lagi. Oh,
Let's see what
LSZ
happens.
langsung ambil. Kedua
Yes,
kemana nih
big moments here.
LSZ?
You got to remember, the players do
Oh,
not
dari
have the
situ
info we
ya,
have.
tamam.
Everybody knows Metal Brick was just put into the decoding station. So unless you knock somebody or you recognize which team it is on the other side, you don't know who started this decoding station. So if I'm Nightmare, I see them already beginning to rotate from bridge because, well, the decoding station started. They may have a guess where people could spawn, but they're not going to know for certain. And so with that, they see a Tempest bolt likely grab that brick because it went soaring back to where it came from. It's going to move quick on the minimap. If they recognize that, they know it's got to be a team that is using a Tempest. Unfortunately, most are, Space Station included. They know for a fact, if they were paying attention, which these players are very good, that it's not Team Liquid. That's probably the only information they know right now. But we're not watching them the entire time. We'll see what Nightmare decides to do. They'd like to go and get some info, maybe knock a player to figure that out.
Kosong.
A lot of scanning coming in across the way currently as teams realizing just how difficult and complicated everything has become all of a sudden as Team Liquid now slowly advancing as they come through Central Bridge, moving a little bit closer to that central point of contention. Nightmare in the meantime just trying to keep their distance as they're waiting on that far southwestern side, not really looking to do all too much just yet. SSG though, they're going to try and creep their way up as they come in right alongside where the brick is. It is going to be Team Nadeshot though right on it as Slep just trying to gatekeep it as he steps up, steals it
Oke,
away.
TN udah
First
di cut.
break, steal,
TN.
change over coming in. SSG though could look to play the upset here and find a few cheeky plays, but again, everybody who needs points, as you've said, is right there on the brick.
That's exactly right. Looks like, yep, Team Liquid making a move. Same conversation. They don't know who has the brick. They've got to at least get part of this party and try to get some intel. Could be able to potentially pick up some operators. Definitely could pick it up and know for certain if they get a knock. Also,
Iya,
these players
ada
have
yang mau
played a
nge-retake.
ridiculous amount of scrims. You can even probably pick it up just from
nge-retake
playstyles.
lagi.
But here goes Liquids. We know Meg and the crew need it. They're going to grab it now, utilizing their Tempest ult. Back to Centrifuge they go. They're content with stealing it, resetting it, and playing for that for a while Killzall stares on from the ultimate high ground, getting all the intel that he needs to then make a move when he feels like it's necessary.
At the end of the day, it just basically comes down to a big old waiting game, right? This is what the teams are trying to do, trying to get that timing down to perfection. In the meanwhile, on the opposing side,
Oh my
ooh,
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Team
Team
Liquid fully eliminated DK. They came to check, and Team Nadeshot said, "See ya, go back to the lobby."
yeah, that's part of the aggression, right? That is part of the job. They got to push on forward, but now it's going to be Nightmare looking to step up for a bit of a steal here as Equal comes in. Ooh, double break potential coming in hot.
Nightmare have started
Ya,
it.
TL mati TL
Oh,
aja.
this is such a
Wah,
weird
Nightmare
position.
ini nge-di-cut lagi nih.
As of current, if Nightmare get this brick, Team Liquid gets second, Space Station Gaming at third. Do some quick maths on the side here. Seen chat go back and forth, and I think most people in chat now understand the stakes. If Nightmare get this brick, they will get 10 points. They will move up to 38. If the standings stay where they are, let's do a quick replay back at Team Nadeshot and what they were able to accomplish against Team Liquid, who were coming up to check and see who it
Nice.
was. They
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it
yeah.
right as they
Ada yang
die.
ini
Team
dong.
Liquid fully eliminated.
BTHN.
But if the standings stay,
NTL
Space Station
N
Gaming will get
BTHN.
5 points.
Oke, udah
It'll be
mau anu
38
nih.
to
Si
38.
Killzall.
It's going to come down to tiebreakers. Space Station Gaming not going to leave it up to chance.
Nice.
Going to go for the steal. and unfortunately gets disarmed and runs out of timer. The ult is gone and onto cooldown. A perfect disarm at the right time at the end of the ult timer. He had to take the zip back or he was going to die at the decoding station most likely.
1 menit cok.
What a moment.
Enggak
Now Team Nate
enggak
Shot's
di
chance.
decode lah barusan. Entem gelo anjir. Gila entimer aja.
Also getting close to it.
Nice, di decode
that
lagi.
nade comes close,
Tim
but not
TN.
fast enough as Team Nate Shot now tries to steal it back yet again. And I mean, again, as I said before, Team Nate Shot and Liquids, both of these two teams could benefit off of getting their hands on that Mandel break as well, walking away with the decode. That is going to help Liquids really solidify their contention to try and catch up with MW, but they're going to have to place much further up the overall positioning here on today's leaderboard if that is going to be a thing for them. SSG though also keeping themselves very much removed from the engagements here, just waiting quietly on the edge. So you can see Chris really close to kill zone. One false move could spell a little bit of a troubling position then for Team Nature.
Nightmare feel confident in the play.
Oh,
They've got to go for the break, and they
TM
do. We reset it to 90
Reset
seconds.
mau
It
ini,
won't
reset.
reset any more than that. That's our minimum timer for this 4 minutes on the clock. And they get the shot on equal plays.
Oke, entimer
The boat
dan 1.
comes through and equal plays is crawling.
Entimer dan 1. Cepat.
Quick math for you folks as Meg is actually making a play with Tempest to go for the steal. Let's see if it connects first. It will reset to 90 seconds.
Oke.
Lucas
Alasnya
trying to hold
gila.
them off, but Liquid still
Dikit
get
lagi
it.
anda.
90 seconds on the clock, but
Alasnya
Liquid's in
cok.
charge as of current. They're going to go for the res first and then go for the play. But Team Nadeshot going to go for their own steal. They want a piece of the action. They know they need the points. Team Nadeshot now in charge. This brick is going to exchange so many hands. It's going to be dirty by the end of this one. Quick math for the people at home. It will be tied Mantle Bricks, tied points. Squad point difference going into this one as Killzone finds a kill on Team Nadeshot. The squad point difference between these two teams, Nightmare and Space Age Gaming, is
tim
only
TN
8.
lagi sekarang.
The elimination difference is only
Alasnya
3,
dan
folks.
1.
This is going to come down to tiebreakers if
Tinggal
Nightmare can close it out, but
mati
Team
anjing.
Nadeshot are in charge. They're winning the engagement, but they go down. Liquid's
Saya
the
sih
one to play
takut
spoiler.
doang ya.
Team Nadeshot fully eliminated.
Gimana
Only
kalau
3
yang
teams
satu
left,
lagi?
and Liquids aren't done. They're looking for more. The timer's paused.
Ini
Somebody's got to get the break, and
Alasnya
Nightmare's just
doang,
going to wipe
Alasnya doang.
everybody.
Ya,
All of these
Enrop
kills,
dong.
and now
Aduh.
what?
Terakhir ini
A
harusnya yang terakhir
2v3.
yang
Equal
ini
plays
menang yang menang.
behind, and Space Station Gaming has stayed patient. All the tiebreaker math, all the odd points, all the mathematician talk. It may not matter. One of the teams will win
Harusnya
right here.
red.
One of the teams will close us out in 6. We will not be playing map 7 unless this brick doesn't get captured. And that is still definitely possible.
I mean, SSG, they know that they have to win this one, right? If they want to lock in second place, they have to get the break. They have no other choice. Even if Nightmare gets it, SSG still wins, right? There is quite a lot on the table here, so yeah, SSG
Ayo,
just,
ayo, ayo,
just
ayo,
needs
ayo.
to make sure that
Terus,
some
terus,
way,
terus, terus.
somehow, they get a little
Nice.
bit of magic
Harus
happening
fire,
here,
nggak bisa, nggak bisa.
especially if they can
Antara dapat
eliminate
atau enggak
the
nih?
entirety of Nightmare. That would just drive the point home even more so.
Here we go.
Udah di set
90
up
seconds on the
bos.
clock. Pay attention to the game clock.
Set
If this brick
upnya,
doesn't
set
get
upnya.
captured, we still have a match on our hands. If Nightmare captured, it will come down to tiebreakers. If Space Station Gaming capture, they will assuredly get second place and win the match. This is for all the marbles. They
Okay,
cannot
nice.
let a steal goes off.
Nice.
Skies connects first,
Nice,
and they
satu
get the
orang.
full DWs out.
Kalau ini
It's a
di decode nggak
2v3.
bisa. Harusnya
Nightmare in a
bisa.
blender through the smoke. They know they need to go for a steal, but Farmer Lucas causing a bit of trouble. He could go for it. He's gonna stick it. Skies has gotta stick him. He's got a barrel stuff and gotta go for the kill.
Yeah,
Farmer Lucas
yeah,
wins
yeah.
it. He's
Nice.
on it. He's going for the
Nice.
steal, but the disarm comes
Tidak,
through and he
tidak,
gets
tidak.
knocked. It's a 2v1.
Ayo, SSG
It
win,
comes down
SSG
to
win.
equal plays.
Udah,
Farmer
gimana.
Lucas almost pulled
Oke,
off the
harusnya SSG win.
impossible. And equal plays has to be the hero that he's been for the last 2 weeks. A 1v2 for all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
marbles.
yeah.
One goes down.
Yeah.
The second cleans up. Can he get the third? No. Space Station Gaming.
Nice. SSG
yes,
kilo.
Oh my
Kill
God.
anjir, kilo.
Good shit kills all.
Gila, kill save everybody coy.
That was so bad.
Let's go, baby! I don't care!
Whoever killed the guy on brick, thank you, you're my goat.
That was easy. Let's go, baby!
Let's go!
Wow.
did
cari
what they
duit lah,
needed
cari
to
duit
do.
aja.
They got their hands on that brick. They were able to defend it, and with that, we now know who's going to be going into the finals, joining the Evil Geniuses.
Space Station Gaming have done it. What
Kill
a
yourself the game.
match. No math to be had. Doesn't matter now. For the top side of the group stages, Space Station Gaming have just booked a ticket straight to Championship Sunday. They will automatically at least get
Terima
top 6.
kasih.
And for the likes of Nightmare, for the likes of Team Liquid, you have not seen the end of them yet, but they're gonna have to battle through the Survivor stages. Friday and Saturday, you will see both of them. The only question